World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4901, Against the Mother. Ever since Chen Shang entered Wanzhou Mountain to take away the ancestral source of creation, he knew that most of the ancestral sources of creation in the different universe came from the source of Zan grandmother. If he continues to take away the ancestral source of creation, Xuanzu will definitely know, but he has nothing to be afraid of now, because he has completely offended Xuanzu by destroying the ancestral source of darkness before. Xuanzu came to him for revenge, and it was a matter of time, so he decided to help Tianxuan's star territory become stronger before Xuanzu came, so that he could resist the invasion of alien forces. Chen Shang now needs hundreds of medium-sized ancestral origins, and it is not easy to obtain them. He needs to go to several different universes. Now that Guolingshe joins, it will be easier. When collecting the ancestral source of creation, the biggest obstacle was the people who guarded the ancestral source of creation, mainly Tianxuan divine generals. The strength of this group of people is not weak, and there are also a lot of them. The ancestral origins of creation that Chen Shang collected before were all small, but now they are all medium or large, and it will take some time, so when collecting, it is necessary to block those profound sky god generals. The heavenly jade domain spirit released its power to help teleport, and Chen Shang and the others soon came to a medium-sized ancestral source. Can we start? Mei Tian Yao asked. Let's check first to see if there are any profound sky god generals nearby. If there are, let's see if we can kill them first. Chen Shang said. Okay. Mei Tian Yao and Guolingshe looked at each other, nodded, and set off. Chen Shang doesn't know how much their current strength has improved. The only thing that is certain is that charming Tianyao's body is very strong, which can make his soul power exert a greater formidable power. Sure enough, there are profound sky divine generals nearby. Fortunately, there are not many of them. Chen Zhang's divine mirror of 6 paths has already begun to accumulate power, and he will move that golden medium-sized ancestral source into the divine mirror of 6 paths. After the divine mirror of 6 paths released the space power to lock the medium-sized ancestral source, it was not as smooth as Chen Shang imagined. The ancestral source of creation of this level has a deep connection with the source of creation. Although the source of origin is in another heaven, the space force generated has a strong suction, which can firmly absorb the ancestral source of creation. Yishinshuan grandmother Yuan, once he felt that his ancestor was about to be moved, would release a stronger force to pull it. Is that the way it was originally, or was it because I took the ancestral source of creation earlier and was discovered, that the mysterious grandmother in Yishin began to be vigilant? Chen Shang frowned tightly. Brother, this level of ancestral origin is too difficult to take away, it will take some time. Sister Xiaojing also felt very difficult. After all, she now has a large amount of star power, and even she feels very difficult. Pulling with Grandma Xuanyuan consumes a lot of energy. It didn't take long for Chen Shang to feel that the speed of the energy flow was much faster. Heavenly origin, humph, I'm not afraid. After little sister Xiaojing gave a coquettish shout, there was a sudden burst of space fluctuations, and I saw that the 6-path divine mirror became very large and came to the sky above the ancestral source of creation. Sister Jing, what are you going to do now? Chen Shang was also frightened, because he could feel that Sister Jing was very angry. I want to control the divine mirror of 6 paths and press it down, and directly eat the ancestral origin of creation. Sister Xiaojing said. Before collecting the ancestral source of creation, it was a space shift, which was equivalent to transferring the ancestral source of creation into the 6-path mirror. But now, it is the divine mirror of 6 paths that covers it directly, covering the ancestral source of creation. But that thing still has a big spatial connection with Zan grandmother Yuan. Chen Shang said. If this creation ancestral source enters the 6 paths divine mirror with the connection with the mother source, will it be dangerous? Brother, I wasted a lot of energy just now. It's all because of the dry consumption with grandmother Zan. That is the mother source, there is so much energy, I definitely can't use it up. Sister Xiaojing said. This is also true, because the mother source is connected to a large number of ancestral sources of creation, and various creation forces are recovered through the ancestral sources of creation. Even if the energy of all the stars in the 6 paths divine mirror was exhausted, it would not be able to pull off grandmother Xuanyuan. But if I concentrate the energy and burst out at once, I can completely cut off their spatial connection in a short period of time. Sister Xiaojing said. Just seize this opportunity and eat the ancestral source of creation into the 6 mirrors, it's hard to get them back on. This is indeed a very good method. Chen Shang said with a smile. Sister Xiaojing has now condensed her strength, and the divine mirror of 6 paths is also ready to press down. As Sister Xiaojing exerted her strength, a super powerful spatial turbulence surged out, and the surrounding space seemed to be torn apart. But there is no other way now, otherwise, this ancestral source of creation cannot be taken away at all. Sister Xiaojing cut off the connection between the ancestral source and the mother's source very smoothly, and then the 6 paths divine mirror quickly pressed down, swallowing the creation ancestral source into the 6 paths divine mirror. After finishing things, Chen Shang immediately contacted Tianxuan Yuling. Tianxuan, get one, go to the next one. After that, he called Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao who were fighting, and told them to fly back. They were flying in the air just now, fighting against several profound sky god generals, and they also felt the terrifying spatial turbulence that erupted from Chen Zhang's side. Seeing the disappearance of the ancestral source of creation, they knew that Chen Shang had succeeded. So after hearing Chen Zhang's call, he immediately flew to Chen Zhang's side. Chen Zhang's divine mirror of 6 paths shrunk quickly, and 3 people can stand. At this time, Meidian Yao and Guo Lingshe also just flew back and landed on the divine mirror of 6 paths. Go! As soon as Chen Zhang's voice fell, the heavenly jade domain spirit released its power and led them to the next ancestral source of creation. Not long after they left, reinforcements from Wanzhou Mountain came from all directions. But they are still a lot slower. Because Chen Shang has gone far, and they don't know where they went. After the Lord of the Universe found out, he was furious, he was very sure that Chen Shang did it. At this time, he could only be incompetent and furious, because Chen Shang did it so neatly. With their current strength, they couldn't stop Chen Shang at all. There are many universes in Wanzhou Mountain. Although the space walls of each universe are relatively thin, they cannot be reached in a short time. Sometimes they have to pass through multiple small universes to reach Chen Zhang's location. And the location of the ancestral source of creation, most of them are located in the depths of the universe of Wanzhou Mountain. We must catch Chen Shang, otherwise Xuanzu will be blamed, and we will all be doomed. The old immortal cultivator became very worried when he learned that the medium-sized ancestral source was taken away by Chen Shang. I can't catch it. The profound god general who guards the ancestral source of creation is not weak. They can't stop them. How can we stop it? If you send stronger guys here, those profound heaven gods will suffer a big loss and will definitely ask Zan Ancestor for help. The Lord of 10,000 Universes intends to leave it alone. The cost of blocking Chen Shang is very high, and it is useless. If Xuanzu did not support, the ancestral source of creation would lose more. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4902, The Emperor is Coming. For the Lord of Myriad Universes, Chen Shang was too slippery to be caught, so he simply ignored it, and he was not afraid of the Xuanzu from Yishan's side blaming him. After all, Chen Shang is the one who made the Lord of Guiyuan suffer a big loss, and it is normal for him to suffer the loss of the Lord of Myriad Universes. Although the Lord of the Universe was rotten, he still pretended to work hard to hunt down Chen Shang. Now, the only ones who are trying very hard to catch Chen Shang are those profound heavenly generals. They are all subordinates of Xuanzu, and they don't dare to be lazy at all. In this way, Chen Shang jumped back and forth in multiple universes in Wanzhou Mountain, and in just a few days, he took away more than 20 ancestral origins of creation. The Lord of the Universe had nothing to do with Chen Shang, so he could only scold him all the time. Although he didn't feel bad, he was very jealous. The ancestral source of creation belongs to Xuanzu. If you lose it, you will lose it, but if Chen Shang gets the ancestral source of creation, he will become very strong. He already knows that Chen Shang is the master of the world-defying universe, so he cares about the strength of Chen Shang. For the Lord of 10,000 Universes, Chen Shang must not become stronger, otherwise, where would he put the face of the Lord of 10,000 Universes? Just when the Lord of the Universe was incompetent and furious, he suddenly learned the news that Xuanzu had sent someone over, and he was a very remarkable person. The Lord of the Universe only knew that the person he sent was very strong, but he didn't know how strong he was. After waiting patiently for 2 days, he finally knew who it was. It turned out to be Emperor Guiyuan. This frightened the Lord of the Universe quite a bit. He had already learned before that the new Emperor Venerable of Yishan was the Lord of Guiyuan. He didn't expect that Emperor Guiyuan would actually go out in person. How is the strength of Emperor Guiyuan? The Lord of 10,000 Universes hid in a very secret space and asked the patron saint of 10,000 Universes. This patron saint is the strongest in Wanzhou Mountain. After Emperor Guiyuan came to Wanzhou Mountain, the patron saint also went to investigate, so he could roughly know the strength of Emperor Guiyuan. "It's very strong, far above me," said the patron saint of Wanzhou. However, with his strength, he can't completely control the entire Wanzhou Mountain. As long as we are in Wanzhou Mountain, we are not afraid of him. The Lord of Wanzhou, you must understand that Wanzhou Mountain is also a different universe. If the power of the entire universe is gathered, the Emperor of another heaven is nothing more than this. Seeing that the patron saint of the universe is so confident, the Lord of the universe is more relieved. "I don't know if he can take down Chen Shang. I really hope they can fight to the death. Chen Shang and Emperor Guiyuan, no matter who wins, it's not a good thing for me." The Lord of the universe also has his own calculations. If Emperor Guiyuan easily took down Chen Shang, then he would definitely say that Wanzhou Mountain was a waste and could not take down Chen Shang. Therefore, he hoped that both Guiyuan Emperor and Chen Shang would be hurt, and he wouldn't be blamed at that time. After all, Chen Zhang's strength was there. "Should we take action and cooperate with Emperor Guiyuan?" the patron saint asked. "Don't need it for now. If they really need it, they will contact us." The Lord of the Universe waved his hand and said, "Let's just watch the show. This guy Chen Shang is very cunning, even if he can't fight Guiyuan Emperor Venerable here, and won't die. We have to keep an eye on Chen Shang and see what evil tricks this guy is hiding." "Yes." The Patronus nodded. Chen Shang continued to take two different beauties, wandering in Wanzhou Mountain, happily collecting the ancestral source of creation. According to Tianxuan Yuling's estimation, Chen Shang could probably collect dozens of ancestral origins in Wanzhou Mountain, at most 50 or 60. You must know that Tianxuan Yuling is also contributing now. After all, it needs the ancestral source of creation very much, and it is urgently needed. So it made every effort to penetrate the space with its own power and reach other universes to assist Chen Shang. At the beginning, Guo Lingshe and Meidian were surprised to see Chen Shang easily taking away the ancestral source of creation, but then they gradually got used to it. It is difficult to take away the ancestral source of creation. Even a small ancestral source of creation requires a lot of effort to take away. When Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao were in Yishan, they had both seen the process of others taking away the little ancestral source. It was very difficult. And Chen Shang looked effortless. Now, Chen Shang will challenge to collect a great ancestral source. It was said before that only the medium-sized ancestral source was charged, but Tianxuan Yuling said that he could try to collect the great ancestral source. It is naturally the best to be able to get the great ancestral source. Tianxuan Yuling thought it was too difficult, so he only let Chen Shang go to the medium-sized ancestral source. After Chen Shang was teleported to the vicinity of the great ancestral origin, the divine mirror of six paths quickly became larger. As before, he used a strong spatial force to cut off the spatial connection between the ancestral origin of creation and the mother origin. After the connection is cut off, it can be restored soon, but as long as the great ancestral source can be taken away within the time of the disconnection, then it will be successful. "Girl Jing, this time it's bigger, it will be more laborious," Chen Shang said. "It's okay, I've been skilled before, and it's not particularly difficult to be older," Sister Xiaojing said with a smile. "As long as there is no one to stop us, it will be easy." There are always a large number of profound sky god generals chasing after him, so Chen Shang will also be disturbed a lot in the process of collecting the ancestral source of creation. At this time, there were many profound heavenly generals chasing after him. Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao also attacked very quickly to prevent them from interfering with Chen Shang. If it goes well, just in Wanzhou Mountain will be able to gather enough ancestral sources of creation, and you don't need to go to other universes. Sister Xiaojing said with a smile, "Find a few more great ancestral sources, definitely enough." This time, Mei Tianyao and Guo Lingshe were not as relaxed as before, because the offensive of those profound sky god generals was so crazy that they seemed to be dying. "Young Master Shen, something is wrong with them. They attacked like crazy this time, these guys are going to die." Guo Lingshe sent a voice transmission to Chen Shang. "Is it the new profound sky divine general? The newcomers are usually very motivated." Chen Shang didn't find it too strange. "It's not new, I've played with them before, I know them, and we've played against them many times." Guo Lingshe said, "They're only trying so hard now, it's very strange. Is it because this time we have to protect more great ancestry?" "Senior sister, it should be Emperor Guiyuan coming. They are all doing their best," Charming Tianyao said. Brother Shen, hurry up. Emperor Guiyuan is already in Wanzhou Mountain. These guys should everyone got the news, so they all went crazy. This bastard, I don't know what his strength is. If he is not particularly strong, he will be killed in Wanzhou Mountain. Chen Shang only felt that Guiyuan Emperor Venerable was annoying. If he didn't get rid of this Guiyuan Emperor Venerable, he would have a headache thinking about it, and it would be even more difficult to collect the ancestral source of creation. It can't be done, Guo Lingshe said. You should finish as soon as possible, preferably before he comes. Looking at the formation of these guys, Emperor Guiyuan should be here soon. Guo Lingshe is not afraid, because she has the charming heavenly demon by her side. She has cultivated with the charming heavenly demon before, and the two have a high degree of tacit understanding. If they join forces to fight against the Guiyuan Emperor, even if they fail, they will not be killed by the other party. Lose. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4903, Ghost Abyss Realm. When Chen Shang was in close contact with Emperor Guiyuan, he was at the Dark Ancestral Origin. At that time, Emperor Guiyuan was still the master of Guiyuan, and Chen Zhang's strength at that time could not be beat at all. But Emperor Guiyuan had no way to take Chen Shang back then, so Chen Shang is not afraid of that Guiyuan Emperor now. The strength of the profound Sky Divine General is very strong, and with a large number of them, it is good that Guo Lingshe and Mei Yao can block them for so long. If Emperor Guiyuan really comes, they will definitely not be able to stop them. At that time, Chen Shang can only take them away, and this great ancestral source cannot be taken away. In order to take away this great ancestral source, the divine mirror of 6 paths consumes a lot. If it cannot be taken away, it is equivalent to wasting a lot of resources. If it was really a last resort, Chen Shang could only run away with Guo Lingshe and Mei Yao at the first time. After all, life-saving matters. Not to mention his injuries, Guo Lingshe and Mei Yao, casually sacrificing one of them would be a huge loss for Chen Shang. Look at the situation. If Emperor Guiyuan comes and I don't succeed, just fly to my side and we will quickly evacuate. Chen Shang also underestimated the great ancestral source. If he had known that it would be difficult to take it away, he would have just don't do it. In fact, Tianshuan Yuling sent him here. According to Tianshuan Yuling's estimation, Chen Shang was fully capable of taking away the great ancestral source, but it was not counted in the Guiyuan Emperor Venerable meeting. Guo Lingshe and Mei Yao had already felt the aura of Emperor Guiyuan, and they were secretly fearful in their hearts. The strength of Emperor Guiyuan is far beyond their imagination. Senior sister, you said before that this product is not very strong, why is it so scary now? Mei Yao was also horrified. I don't know, I haven't left Yishan for a long time. How can he improve so much so quickly? Guo Lingshe was very shocked. Emperor Guiyuan hadn't even come yet, but his aura broke through the space, but it was already very scary. According to Guo Lingshui's previous estimate of the power of Emperor Guiyuan, then she and Mei Yao can still block. However, the strength of Emperor Guiyuan is so terrifying that once they come, it will be difficult for them to block even a single block. Chen Shang didn't sense it, because the space around him was very turbulent, so he didn't find the breath of Emperor Guiyuan piercing the space. Girl Jing, you must get it done quickly. Chen Shang hurriedly transmitted his voice to Sister Xiao Jing. Brother, this great ancestor is not an ordinary thing. Sister Xiao Jing said, I don't know what's going on, but this thing suddenly became a lot stronger, which caused me to fail for a long time. It's Yishan Muyuan. Tianshuan Yuling sent a voice transmission to Chen Shang and Sister Xiao Jing, you all stop and leave immediately. The strength of that Guiyuan Emperor is too strong, this is something I didn't expect before. What, is Emperor Guiyuan so powerful? I plan to kill him in Wanzhou Mountain. Tianshuan, if we join forces, we should be able to kill him, right? Chen Shang now feels somewhat a pity, this is a great opportunity to kill Emperor Guiyuan. Brother, it would be very good for us to take this ancestral source of creation with all our strength. Sister Xiao Jing has also sensed the terrifying momentum of Emperor Guiyuan. That guy is tearing up the space and tearing it open directly from Yishan. Space, this guy is scary. Girl Jing, you said that this ancestral source of creation is different. Chen Shang asked anxiously. Since Sister Xiao Jing said that Emperor Guiyuan is very strong, then Chen Shang can only focus on the ancestral source of creation. There are 2 medium-sized ancestral sources inside the ancestral source of creation. Sister Xiao Jing said. Those two ancestral sources just appeared not long ago. It is obvious that the mother source sensed that we were going to the great ancestral source, so they directly sent to an ancestral source is coming. So it is. Chen Shang thought about it and said, I have a way. After he finished speaking, he released Suzaku Tenderness Silk and Qinglong Demon Slayer. Suzaku's tenderness wrapped around the Qinglong Demon Slayer sword, and then he controlled the Qinglong Demon Slayer sword to fly out, and it became very huge, directly inserting into the great ancestral source. After the Qinglong Demon Slayer knife entered, the Suzaku Tenderness Silk gradually changed into many strands of silk threads, which were then intertwined and turned into silk nets. Although the Qinglong Demon Slaughtering Knife has grown very large, it is like a thin needle when flying inside the great ancestral source. Brother, you, Sister Xiaojing also seemed to understand what Chen Shang was going to do, and then sent energy to the Qinglong Demon Slayer sword through the Six Paths Divine Mirror. Tianxuan, help me. Chen Shang contacted the Tianxuan domain spirit and said, I need your space power, just send the space power to the Six Paths Divine Mirror, hurry up. Tianxuan Yuling immediately followed suit, using the energy of the entire star field to open the torn channel, and directly transfer the energy to the inside of the Six Paths Divine Mirror. The Divine Mirror of Six Paths introduces energy into the Suzaku Tenderness Silk, and injects it into the Qinglong Demon Slayer sword. At this time, the Qinglong Demon Slaughtering Sword also has space power. Through the silk screen under the Suzaku Tenderness Silk cloth, a space barrier net is formed. In this way, the mother source cannot transmit energy. Then the Six Paths Divine Mirror cooperates to cut off the space, and the great ancestral source can be moved into the Six Paths Divine Mirror in an instant. It went as smoothly as Chen Shang imagined, and soon the great ancestor was dragged into the Six Paths Divine Mirror. Sister Mei, hurry up and come here. Chen Shang immediately called them back. Guo Lingshe and the charming heavenly demon landed behind the Six Paths Divine Mirror, and there was also a very violent spatial turbulence in the distance. It is the Emperor Guiyuan. After Emperor Guiyuan broke through the space, he directly attacked the Six Paths Divine Mirror. Although the Divine Mirror of Six Paths has a very strong energy shield, both Mei Dianyao and Guo Lingshe released their power immediately to strengthen the energy shield. Boom! Emperor Guiyuan rushed over with a long sword and pointed at Chen Shang, but was blocked by the shield of the Six Paths Divine Mirror. What terrified Chen Shang was that after the Guiyuan Emperor gave a deep shout, the tip of the sword actually pierced the energy shield of the Six Paths Divine Mirror, causing the shield to shatter instantly. Fortunately, the power of Guo Lingshe and the charming heavenly demon erupted at this time, rushing the Emperor Guiyuan out. Chen Shang just saw the appearance of Emperor Guiyuan just now. He looks very young, with a long face, jade white skin, long red hair fluttering, wearing black armor, and holding a divine sword like opening the sky. The momentum looks like it can destroy the world. Go! Guo Lingshe shouted. The Divine Mirror of Six Paths wanted to leave, but in the blink of an eye, all around Chen Shang suddenly turned bloody, and there were bursts of creepy howls of ghosts and wolves. This is the realm of Guiyuan. Guo Lingshe said solemnly, I'm sorry, the space is isolated, it's hard for us to rush out. It's more powerful than I thought, and it can take away this great ancestor. The voice of the Guiyuan Emperor came from all directions, as if countless Guiyuan Emperors were talking loudly in all directions. Chen Shang secretly contacted the Heaven Jade Domain Spirit, but could not get in touch. The space was indeed isolated, and it was difficult to break through. Do you like this site? Donate here. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4904, Yaoshan Jade Body. Chen Shang and the others underestimated the strength of the Guiyuan Emperor, otherwise Chen Shang would have run away decisively, and now he was trapped by the Guiyuan Emperor. If they could not break through this Guiyuan domain, they would definitely be in danger. Senior sister, this guy is too strong. By the way, are the emperors of Yishan so strong? Or is it that the emperor of Guiyuan is stronger? Mei Dianyao asked in a low voice. No, other emperors should be stronger. Emperor Guiyuan has just become an emperor, he is the weakest one. Guo Lingshe was very nervous at the moment, because she could see that Chen Shang couldn't break through the Guiyuan domain in a short time. Encountered such a thing, she can only think of a way. After all, she is the Jade Girl of Yaoshan, and she is also the most powerful one here. When necessary, she must stand up and work hard to find a way to let Mei Tianyao and Chen Shang escape. Senior sister, I am indeed the weakest of the 5 emperors, but with my current strength, it is easy to destroy you. This is the power of emperors. The Emperor Guiyuan was suspended in the air, high above the ground, and the look of the world on his body made Chen Shang and the others fearful. Even though Chen Shang hated Emperor Guiyuan very much, he had to admit that it was indeed very rare for this guy to master such powerful power in a short period of time. Emperor Guiyuan has long red hair fluttering slowly, and his appearance is also very handsome, but his power does not match his appearance at all. This guy, after getting stronger, even his appearance has changed a lot. Madian Yao whispered. Chen Shang, is the world-defying universe yours? You are the creator of the world-defying universe and the patron saint of the world-defying universe. It is indeed very rare that you can achieve this level. Emperor Guiyuan sneered. Today, you will be terminated by me. People like you must not stay. Mei Tianyao and Guo Lingshe didn't know that Chen Shang had such a close relationship with world-defying universe, and they looked at Chen Shang in surprise at the moment. Guo Lingshe could guess that Chen Shang had a deep relationship with Aoshi universe, but he didn't expect it to be the creator and patron saint. Chen Shang didn't know what kind of Patronus he was, but the things that created the Patronus were indeed absorbed and fused by him. In fact, even if he came up with a Patronus, he would definitely not be able to defeat Emperor Guiyuan. I'm not that easy to kill. Chen Shang smiled lightly and said, Emperor Guiyuan, I admit that I underestimated the power of Emperor Yishan before, but you are also underestimating me now. Really? Emperor Guiyuan raised his head and laughed loudly. This Guiyuan domain is something you can't break through in your entire life. I was in the dark realm before, didn't I run out easily? Chen Shang said with a smile. If it is in the world-defying universe, my Guiyuan domain is really nothing. Because you can borrow the power of the world-defining universe, but you are now in Wanzhou Mountain. Emperor Guiyuan laughed. And Wanzhoushan has long been connecting to the various laws of Yishan, so I can mobilize the power of Wanzhou Mountain in Wanzhou Mountain. Guo Lingshe and Madian Yao now understand why Chen Shang was so powerful when he was in the universe. He was able to break out of the dark realm and destroy the dark ancestors. Because Chen Shang is the one who created the world-defining universe. Really? So, if Emperor Guiyuan is in the world-defying universe, your strength will be greatly reduced, right? Chen Shang laughed. He was shocked and terrified by the power of Guiyuan Emperor before, but now, he probably knows why Guiyuan Emperor is so powerful. Emperor Guiyuan came to Wanzhou Mountain, and using his status as emperor, he could use the laws of Wanzhou Mountain, and then mobilize the power of Wanzhou Mountain, so it seemed so powerful. If he goes to the world-defining universe, Guiyuan Emperor Venerable's move will not work, then his Guiyuan domain will be easily shattered. Indeed, but as long as I destroy you, I will have no restrictions in the world-defying universe. And the world-defying universe will also be annexed by the other heavens. Emperor Guiyuan laughed and shouted, Chen Shang, suffer. You die. Well, good to everyone. After he finished speaking, he held the long sword, turned it into a red lightning, and attacked Chen Shang. At the same time when the red lightning rushed towards Chen Shang, Guo Lingshe also suddenly shot. Roll. Guo Lingshe drank it coldly, not knowing what method she used. A dazzling jade white light burst out from her body. At this moment, she looks like a statue of white jade, and the light of the pure holy ***** on her body makes Chen Shang and charming Tianyao look demented. Chen Shang suddenly understood why Guo Lingshe was called Yaoshan Jade Girl. It was because of her most powerful state that she got the nickname. Yaoshan Divine Art. Yin Book, Yaoshan Jade Body. After being shaken, Emperor Guiyuan said solemnly, Guo Lingshe, I really didn't expect you to cultivate to this level by yourself. I have been cultivating Yaoshan Divine Art during the hundreds of millions of years that you have sealed me. My understanding of Yaoshan Divine Art is comparable to that of Master. Guo Lingshui's voice was cold, and every word was powerful. When it was conveyed, the surrounding space swayed. Chen Shang didn't expect that Yaoshan's divine art was actually so good. You must know that Guo Lingshui's cultivation is only the Yin Book. Yaoshan divine art has the great perfection realm, which is what Xuanzu has always pursued, but it is necessary for men to cultivate the Yang Book and the female to practice the Yin Book, and then to cultivate with each other, in order to reach the great perfection state. If you cultivate to the great perfection, how strong will Yaoshan divine art be? Young Master Shen, find a way to break through the Guiyuan domain. I believe you have the strength. Junior sister, you protect young Master Shen, and I will stop that bastard. Guo Lingshe, who was like Yathianyu, flew out, dragging a long jade white light belt around her body. Both Chen Shang and Madian Yao were secretly amazed. Chen Shang also started immediately, running the divine mirror of 6 paths. After all, there are many ancestral origins inside the 6 paths divine mirror, and it has swallowed a lot of stars, and all the energy burst out. It is not a problem to break through the ghost abyss. Brother Shen, see if you don't see it, that's my senior sister, she's so beautiful, she seems to be hugging and kissing her. Madian Yao was very nervous and worried before, but now that Guo Lingshe is so powerful, she also smiles. Sister Mei, I thought you were stronger than Miss Guo. Now it seems that you are really just a junior sister. Chen Shang said with a smile. After all, she is a senior sister, after all, a jade girl of Yaoshan. Moreover, she is the only true inheritor of Yaoshan's divine art, and she is also the head teacher of Yathianmen. Mei Tianyao smiled proudly. So senior sister is stronger than me, isn't it normal? It can be seen that the charming heavenly demon is very proud to see Guo Lingshe possessing such a powerful strength. You practice Yaoshan divine art, and you can be as strong as her in the future. Chen Shang said with a smile. In fact, Chen Shang has also obtained the Yaoshan divine art, as well as the demon heart heavenly soul art that charming heavenly demon cultivates, but he has not had time to practice. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4905, Tianxuan Shot. Chen Shang looked at Guo Lingshe in the distance and Guiyuan Emperor Zun was fighting. The fight was very fierce, both sides were fighting with all their strength. It's not right, senior sister seems to be on a par with that bastard, but the reason why senior sister has this kind of power must be forcibly improved by some means. She won't be able to support this state for long, and there will be a lot of hard work by then. Strong side effects. Madian Yao was suddenly very worried, and his expression was not so relaxed. I can only break through this Guiyuan domain as soon as possible. Chen Shang said. Emperor Guiyuan must release some extra power to maintain this domain. As long as he threatens this Guiyuan domain, he will be distracted. The divine mirror of 6 paths has now started to operate, and it is slowly spinning at this moment, and from time to time a burst of strong spatial force is rippling. It is trying to attack the Ghost Abyss domain, and at the same time, it also transmits Chen Zhang's message for the Tianjian domain spirit to receive. Although the Heavenly Jade domain spirit is far away from the world-defying universe, because of the huge energy of the Heavenly Jade star domain, it can transmit part of the energy. Chen Shang couldn't contact the Heavenly Jade domain spirit immediately, but at this time, he could use the 6 paths divine mirror to send out a part of the space ripples. As long as he told the Heavenly Jade domain spirit where he was, the Heavenly Jade domain spirit would have a way to support him. Emperor Guiyuan, this guy, use the power of Wanzhou Mountain to release the Guiyuan domain. Chen Shang said solemnly. This is the power of Wanzhou Mountain, and the 6 paths divine mirror can't completely resist it yet. After the actions of the 6 paths divine mirror just now, Chen Shang also saw that the main power of the Ghost Abyss domain came from Wanzhou Mountain. It is Wanzhou Mountain that maintains the operation of the Guiyuan domain, so the Guiyuan Emperor can now concentrate on fighting against Guo Lingshe. Chen Shang didn't know how long Guo Lingshe could hold on, and this put a lot of pressure on him. If Guo Lingshe couldn't hold on and failed to break through the Guiyuan domain, then they would all be doomed. Just when Chen Shang and Sister Xiaojing were in a state of urgency, a powerful energy suddenly hit the Guiyuan domain. From the outside, the Guiyuan domain is an area surrounded by a red mask, and now there is a huge golden energy light group that suddenly appeared and hit the red mask formed by the Guiyuan domain. It's Tianxuan's power. Chen Shang was pleasantly surprised, and quickly said to Sister Xiaojing, we are saved. Brother, Guiyuan domain is actually better to break through from the outside. We attack from within, and the energy will be released by Guiyuan domain to the outside, resulting in no effective impact. Sister Xiaojing said excitedly, we are saved. Emperor Guiyuan also felt that there was a very strong energy attack just now. He is now starting to get distracted. He did not expect Chen Shang to have such a powerful helper. Tianjia Yuling's actions were fast, because it also knew that there was a strong enemy coming from Yishan, so Chen Shang could not contact it. With the dozens of attacks of the Tianxuan domain spirit, the Guiyuan domain finally couldn't bear it and collapsed directly. Miss Guo, hurry up! Chen Shang hurriedly shouted. Guo Lingshe came back immediately and landed on the 6 paths divine mirror. Don't try to run. Guiyuan Emperor was furious, and he did not chase after him immediately, because Guo Lingshe hit him hard just now, and instantly sent a violent wave of air, which swept him into the distance. However, Guiyuan Emperor Zun was not injured because of this, and he was so angry that he immediately exerted his power and released Guiyuan domain again. And this time, the Six Paths Divine Mirror had already made a space jump and slipped away at the moment when the Guiyuan domain was about to form. After the space jump, the Divine Mirror of Six Paths was immediately picked up by the Heavenly Jade Domain Spirit and brought them away from Wanzhou Mountain. Chen Shang and the others returned to the world-defying universe again. Only Emperor Guiyuan was left to be incompetent and furious. In the Tianquan Star territory, the frightened Chen Shang and the charming heavenly demon looked at Guo Lingshe and saw that she was sitting cross-legged on the divine mirror of six paths, and her whole body had fallen into a state of deep sleep. Her soul is very weak, her body, the bones in her body are shattered, her internal organs are all turned into powder, the price is too high. Chen Shang took a deep breath. Charming Tianyao was very distressed. Those beautiful and charming eyes with a bit of innocence, with tears in them, looked at Chen Shang pitifully, hoping that Chen Shang could help Guo Lingshe. Senior sister's situation is very bad now. If she is alone, it will take a long time to fully recover. Madian Yao whispered. Brother Shen, can you help her? I will definitely help her. Chen Shang nodded and said, if Miss Guo hadn't acted, we wouldn't be able to come back. Not to mention anything else, just say that the amazing power Guo Lingshe showed just now, Chen Shang will definitely help her recover. With such a powerful tool person, how could Chen Shang let her fall asleep? We must help her recover as soon as possible, and then pull her to work. Then what plan are you going to use? Madian Yao's mood was much better, and he showed a faint smile. Sister Charm, did you charm Miss Guo, or did she charm you? I always feel that the relationship between the two of you is developing too fast. It's not too long, it's just you and me. Chen Shang looked puzzled. We just love each other, isn't the relationship between senior and junior sisters normal? Madian Yao snorted softly, why, are you jealous when you see me being so nice to her? What's so delicious? Chen Shang shook his head and said with a smile, I plan to train her a Dao seed. When the time comes, you can help her fuse, because she is in her current state, and she can't do it alone, and you have a fusion Dao seed experience, you can help her. Really? That's great. I've always wanted to ask you to help her train her Dao seeds, but I'm just too embarrassed. Madian Yao giggled, Brother Shen, then I'll thank you for senior sister first. You take good care of her, I'll start now. Chen Shang released the world-proud divine stove. They were in the Heavenly Jade Star territory at this time, and the Heavenly Jade Domain Spirit took Chen Shang back and let him rest before setting off. Chen Shang didn't have enough ancestral sources of creation in his hands. After the rest, he still had to continue to set off. At that time, it would also be arranged by the Heavenly Jade Domain Spirit. Therefore, no matter what happened to Chen Shang, Guo Lingshe had to be recovered. Without her strength, the charming heavenly demon alone would not work. Chen Shang also has a bit of selfishness, he just hopes that he will practice Yaoshan magic in the future, and Guo Lingshe will find out, and she will not be blamed by her. Because the Yaoshan divine art mastered by Chen Shang was stolen from Xuanzu's book, which also contained the demon heart and heavenly soul art. Chen Shang found out that Yaoshan's divine art was powerful. If he could cultivate to the realm of Guo Lingshe, he would be able to master a very powerful power without relying on the power of the world-defying universe. He is too dependent on the divine mirror of six paths and the world-defying universe. If he is separated from the two, he is very vulnerable. For example, in the Guiyuan domain before, he was still invincible by the power of the six paths divine mirror, so he had to let himself master a powerful power. World-defying Dan God Chapter 4906, Cloudy Book. Chen Shang earnestly cultivated Dao seeds, and his heart was also very uncomfortable. He clearly knew that the Guiyuan Emperor was a great threat, and it would definitely cause great harm to the world-defying universe in the future, but he had nothing to do with the Guiyuan Emperor. Every time he faced Emperor Guiyuan, he could only run away, very aggrieved. Especially this time, he was almost planted in the hands of Emperor Guiyuan. Fortunately, Guo Lingshe paid a huge price and forcibly increased his strength before he could get the time to escape. This time can be said to be very thrilling. If there is another time, there may be no escape. Chen Shang hates this feeling very much. This is mainly because he is not strong enough. The Emperor Guiyuan was very angry at the moment, because Chen Shang ran away under his nose. You must know that he invoked the power of Wanzhou Mountain, but he still couldn't trap Chen Shang. This was simply a great shame for him. If the other 4 old emperors knew about it, they would definitely laugh at him. And he has no way to regain his face now. It is not realistic to go to the world-defying universe to find Chen Shang, that is Chen Zhang's territory, and he goes there is no different than courting death. Brother, Yishan's emperors are very powerful. You have offended Xuanzu, and you have been taking away Xuanzu Yuan's creation ancestor. Although he will not deal with you in person, he will definitely launch his hands to deal with you. Sister Xiaojing said. I know, but now we can only make Tianshuan's star territory stronger first. Chen Shang said. After Tianshuan's star territory becomes stronger, we can defend the entire world-defying universe. As long as we hide in the world-defying universe, we can have enough time to grow up. After the Tianshuan star territory is strong, it can resist the power from Yishan. Even if the Xuanzu of Yishan comes, it will be difficult to destroy the world-defying universe. It can be said that there are many benefits to improving the Tianshuan star territory. Brother, it is of course necessary to make Tianshuan star territory stronger, but you can't let yourself down. Sister Xiaojing said, hurry up and break through your own cultivation. This is also very important. Sister Jing, my current practice requires the creation of a powerful star field in order to break through. What about Rongrong? Chen Shang said. Unless the Tianshuan starfield has a mother source, then I will be able to obtain it from the Tianshuan starfield. Energy, refining enough Dao seed and proud ancestors, you can create a star field. Chen Shang is now relying on the creation of star fields to break through the realm, otherwise it will be difficult for him to improve his body and soul. You can try to practice Yaoshan Divine Art and Demon Heart Celestial Soul Art. Maybe it will be of great use to you. Sister Xiaojing said. These 2 exercises, after all, come from Demon Ancestor and Yao Ancestor. There are people with great power in Yishan, you can definitely learn something from it. Okay, I'll study it when I have time, and see if I can comprehend anything. Chen Shang has always been curious about these 2 exercises. With the help of the Heavenly Jade Domain Spirit, Chen Shang quickly refined a Dao seed, which only took a few days, and then handed it over to the charming Heavenly Demon. Charming Tianyao took Guoling Shay and floated in the air, and then they appeared in the mist, shrouding them, forming a large light group. It will take some time for Charming Heavenly Demon to help Guoling Shay refine and integrate that Dao species, and Chen Shang can now take advantage of this moment to practice Yaoshan Divine Art and Demon Heart Heavenly Soul Art. Brother, I suggest that you master Yaoshan Divine Art first. Sister Xiaojing said, I read that booklet before and found that Demon Heart Heavenly Soul Art is very evil. And Yaoshan Divine Art has greatly improved the soul and state of mind. Don't be afraid of the devil's heart and soul of the evil sect. Really, Chen Shang said. Sister Jing, Xuanzu's booklet stole Guoling Shui's Yaoshan Divine Art. Is it both yin and yang books? It's all there. I checked it. The yin book is really not suitable for men. Sister Xiaojing said. The yin book will make a man turn into a woman, and it's quite evil. Xuanzu's booklet was opened by Charming Heavenly Demon before, and then the booklet stole the exercises that Charming Heavenly Demon and Guoling Shay remembered. And the booklet was already in the hands of little sister Xiaojing. She sealed the contents of the yin book, not letting Chen Shang read it, and even kept it a secret from Chen Shang, which shows that the yin book has a huge influence on men. Chen Shang calmed down and carefully read the contents of Yaoshan's Divine Art book. He was at a loss. The yang book is headless and without a tail. All kinds of mental formulas seem to be wrong, and there is no rule at all, and there is no comment, so Chen Shang can't understand it at all. How should this start? Chen Shang bit the bullet and quickly read all the contents of the yang book, and closed his eyes to make various combinations to see if he could find the pattern, but it gave him the feeling that it was very messy. The content is there, and the formula of the mind is also very profound and mysterious, but it is too messy, so he doesn't know where to start. Brother, is it possible that this book is incomplete? Sister Xiaojing said, I can't understand what it is. It may be because of the environment. The above-mentioned Dao species, creation power, and some realms that can only be understood in other heavens are all related to each other. However, I don't have other heaven Dao species, and I understand the world creation power of other heavens. Very shallow, not to mention the cultivation bases of Yishan's various realms. Chen Shang shook his head. He thought it was mainly because of the different natural laws of the world-defying universe in Yishan. Do you want to ask Guoling Shay for advice? Sister Xiaojing sighed softly. Now she is the only one who knows Yaoshan's magic power better. She may be willing to teach me, but maybe she will only be willing to teach me if I go to Yathionman. Chen Shang looked at the light group in the distance. It was only by worshipping Yathyanmen that Madian Yao got the Yin Book of Yaoshan divine art. The Emperor Guiyuan also practiced Yangshu, but when he fought against Guolingxie before, he didn't seem to use it. Could it be that Yangshu is not strong? Chen Shang frowned and said, or, he wants to cultivate. Practice Yangshu, need Yao Tianzu's help. It's also possible that the practice of Yangshu is only to assist women in cultivating Yinshu. Sister Xiaojing said. From the content of Yinshu, only Yinshu has the formula of the great perfection written in it, but Yangshu does not. Could it be that Yao Tianzu wanted to use Xuanzu as a training cauldron? Chen Shang was a little surprised, and whispered, can this Yaoshan divine art still be practiced? It should still be possible, right? Sister Xiaojing was at a loss now, and said, brother, if you don't, just confess to Guolingxie and say that you have mastered Yaoshan's divine art, and ask her if she can practice it. No, I can't tell her. Chen Shang shook his head, and said, I'll comprehend it myself. Otherwise, Sister Jing, you can pass me the contents of the Underworld book. Maybe after I combine the Underworld book, it will be better. Practice the Yang book. Well, I'll think about it. Sister Xiaojing sighed. The content of the Yin book is not quite right, I'm worried that it will affect you. World Defying Dan God Chapter 4907, Endless Way. Chen Shang couldn't understand, isn't it just a cultivation technique? What impact can it have? If there is really something inappropriate for cultivation, just ignore it. Sister Xiaojing and Guolingxie were both secretive about Yaoshan's magical powers. Moreover, Madian Yao later mastered the Yin Book of Yaoshan divine art. She didn't talk about the Yin Book. Chen Shang asked several times before, but she just didn't say it, which made Chen Shang even more curious. Sister Jing, you've been with me for so long, don't you know me yet? If it's really not suitable for cultivation, then I definitely won't take the risk to try it. Chen Shang said. Just tell me directly, I will do it myself. Judged. Actually, it shouldn't be suitable for your cultivation. I'm just worried that you will try and make some mistakes. Sister Xiaojing sighed and said, all right then, I'll pass the Yin manual to you now. Quote. Afterwards, Sister Xiaojing passed all the contents she had mastered about the Yin book to Chen Shang. After understanding the contents of the Yin book, Chen Shang was greatly shocked. The content of the Yin book is completely different from that of the Yang book. It can be said that there are two kinds of exercises. In addition, the contents of the Yang book are completely unintelligible, it just seems to be very profound, but Chen Shang can't understand it at all. But now that he understands Yin book, he finds that Yin book is more complicated and profound than Yang book, but it is not as difficult to understand as Yang book. The content of the Yin book still has a certain context, if Chen Shang carefully combs it, he can probably understand it. In contrast, the contents of the Yang book are illogical, and after reading it, there is no clue at all. Brother, don't try it, I feel there is a big risk. Sister Xiaojing said. How to cultivate the Yin book, you should know now, right? No wonder Guolingxie and the others refused to tell me. Chen Shang shook his head and smiled. It looks like it's really not suitable for my practice. The content of Yaoshan Shengong Yin book can be said to be very fragrant, because it requires two women to cooperate and practice together, and requires two women to have very close contact, and once the two cultivate the Yin book together, their relationship will also change, very intimate. At the beginning, Yao Tianzu passed the Yaoshan divine art to Guolingxie, and they also practiced intimately for many years. And now Guolingxie passed Yaoshan divine art to Madian Yao, they are also very close to cultivate together. After reading the Yin book, Chen Shang understood why it is only suitable for women to cultivate, because there are many ways to cultivate together, and only two women can complete it. Brother, you said that the two of them are inside. Are they also using that method? Sister Xiaojing looked at the light group not far away, and Madian Yao and Guolingxie were inside. I don't know them. Chen Shang shook his head and said, this Yaoshan divine art is too bizarre. I don't know how to practice Yangshu. Ask Miss Guo directly to see if she is willing to teach you the Yang book. Sister Xiaojing said. Brother, she will be very grateful to you for her fusion of the world-defining Taoism. When you ask her for the Yang book, shouldn't he refuse? Chen Shang had already obtained the Yang book, but Guolingxie didn't know it through improper means. We can only ask her when she comes out. Chen Shang nodded and said, by the way, I will ask Sister May about the Demon Heart Heavenly Soul Art. See if she is willing to pass it on to me. Although Chen Shang had already obtained it, he still wanted to obtain it in a proper way. He waited for several days, and with the help of charming heavenly demon, Guolingshe successfully merged with the world-defining Taoist. The next step is for Guolingshe himself to establish a deep connection with the Taoist species, so that he can completely grasp the magical effect of the world-defeating Taoist species. Guolingshe sat cross-legged on the divine mirror of the six paths, and closed her eyes to feel the Tao seed. She had to understand and comprehend the proud world Tao seed, and to realize a way of cultivation that suits her destiny. Sister May, can you pass on your demon heart and heavenly soul art to me? Chen Shang asked in a low voice. I almost fell into his hands when I met Emperor Guiyuan before, so I want to become more powerful. Brother, it's not that I'm stingy and don't pass it on to you. It's, when I obtained the heavenly soul art of demon heart, I somehow signed a soul contract, and I can't pass it on to a man. Madian Yao was embarrassed and bit his lip. I really don't lie to you. If I pass it on to a man, my demon heart heavenly soul secret art will dissipate by itself. Ah, why can't it be passed on to men? Chen Shang looked surprised. I guess, the demon ancestor may be a woman. And he has suffered from the loss of a man and was hurt by a man, so that's why this is the case. Madian Yao sighed. If it could be passed on, I would have passed it on to you and me long ago. I've researched it. The magic heart and heavenly soul art is very complicated, I don't understand some parts, and neither does senior sister. Chen Shang looked at the charming heavenly demon with his bright eyes and was sure that she was not lying, so he believed her words. Then you say, is Miss Guo willing to pass Yaoshan divine art to me? Chen Shang looked at Guolingshe who was meditating with his eyes closed. Yin scriptures cannot be passed on. Although Yang scriptures can be passed on, they have no effect on you. Guolingshe replied in person, saying, Young Master Shen, I will teach you the Yang scriptures. I need to wait for me to reach a certain level before I can guide you to cultivate the Yangshu scriptures. Yaoshan divine art, and I haven't reached that level yet. That's it, these magical arts are really complicated. Chen Shang now understood why he was confused when he looked at the contents of the Yang book. Master also wanted to avoid Yaoshan divine art from falling into the hands of traitors. Guolingshe said, although there is a lot of content in Yangshu, there is no guidance yet, even if you master the content of Yangshu, it will be of no use. Chen Shang was indeed like this before, looking at the contents of the Yang book, he couldn't understand anything. However, he can practice the demon heart heaven soul art. This practice is mainly about cultivating the soul, and it is of great help to Chen Shang, but he needs to practice quietly, so that the charming heavenly monster cannot know about it. By the way, Miss Guo. Just as Chen Shang was about to ask something, he was interrupted by Guolingshe. Young Master Shen, you can just call me Ling Shui, you don't have to be so outspoken. Guolingshe said. Yes, we are indeed quite familiar now. Chen Shang laughed and said. Ling Shui, now that you have obtained the world-defying Tao seed, you must transfer to the world-defying Tao seed's practice law. How do you feel about that world-defying Tao seed? The previous practice was based on Yishan's practice rules, can you adapt? I don't know yet, in short, I feel much better than when I was in another world. Guolingshe frowned and pondered, and said, it's like, I can't see the end. The cultivation of the world-defying universe seems to be endless. Limit. Oh, is there a limit in Yishan? Chen Shang was a little surprised, he didn't feel this way before. Yes. In Yishan, without the help of the third patriarch, in the future practice, you will not be able to break through by yourself. It is very necessary to rely on the strength of the third patriarch to break through. Guolingshe nodded. World-defying Dan God Chapter 4908, God's Way. So it is. Ling Shui, then I will wait for your good news, I hope you can reach that realm as soon as possible, and then pass on my Yaoshan divine art. Chen Shang said with a smile. He said so, but he decided that as long as he had time, he would secretly practice Yaoshan Shengong Yang book. It was mainly Guolingshui's words that aroused Chen Zhang's curiosity. She said that she needed guidance to cultivate Yangshu, and Chen Shang planned to cultivate by himself to see if he could succeed. He was going to practice Yaoshan Shengong quietly, and then shocked Guolingshe. Young Master Shen, I'm going to get used to the Taoism now. I still have to retreat for a while, you wait patiently. When I fully recover, I will go with you and continue to collect the ancestral source of creation. Guolingshe said. Okay, you continue. Chen Shang nodded. At this time, Madian Yao also went by her side, and seemed to want to be with her, and then the two of them were wrapped in a light group again. Chen Shang knew at a glance that they were going to cultivate together again. Moreover, they still use the method of Yaoshan Shenggong Yinshu. According to the description of Yaoshan Shenggong Yinshu, the process is very intimate and very fragrant. Brother, do you want to take a look? They are all on the 6 paths divine mirror, I can show you. Hee hee, Sister Xiaojing said with a wicked smile. Little girl, don't think of your brother so badly. Chen Shang scolded with a smile. You should also study the Yaoshan divine art and the demon heart celestial soul art. Got it, Sister Xiaojing said with a wicked smile. Brother, are you really sure you don't want to watch it? Actually, it's not that you have to do bad things to see them practice, I just want you to see how they practice Yaoshan Shenggong. It's just to let you know more about Yaoshan divine art. Don't look, don't look. Chen Shang hurriedly refused. He was really worried that he would not be able to resist the temptation, and what thoughts would come up after reading it. After all, he had experienced the strange charm technique of the charming heaven demon, and he was worried that he would fall into the pit. Hey, then I'll see it myself. Sister Xiaojing laughed. Bad girl, Chen Shang muttered, and then went to study the demon heart heavenly soul art, which was also a very difficult practice. He carefully pondered those formulas, and found that this exercise, like Yaoshan divine exercise, needs someone to guide. That is to say, people who need the guidance of the founder of this practice, or who have mastered this practice to a certain level, can also guide others to get started. He looked at the light group that Meidian Yao and Guoling She were in, and felt that they were sharing and guiding each other to practice magic. In this way, they will practice demon heart heavenly soul art and Yaoshan divine art together, and they will definitely be very fast. Sister Mei, this fox spirit, is not honest at all. She said that she obtained the magic heart and soul formula by chance. She might have contacted the demon ancestor and got guidance. Now that Chen Shang understood the demon heart heavenly soul art, someone was sure to guide the charming heavenly demon. Brother, maybe it wasn't the demon ancestor who guided her. There may be someone else. After all, the demon ancestor can also pass the demon heart heavenly soul art to others. Said Sister Xiaojing. Little girl, what did you see? Chen Shang asked. Seeing them hugging each other, face to face, eyes closed. Sister Xiaojing said, it's like falling asleep. Are they wearing clothes? Chen Shang also asked casually for some reason. I'm not wearing it. Hee hee, does brother want to see it? Sister Xiaojing smiled tenderly. What's so cool, they were hit by Xuanzu's underhand tricks before, I've seen them all. If it wasn't for me at that time, they would all be doomed. Chen Shang curled his lips. Chen Shang also secretly admired Xuanzu's booklet, and almost succeeded in stealing Yaoshan divine art and demon heart celestial soul art. Fortunately, he was stopped by him, otherwise the consequences would be disastrous. HMPH, little rascal brother, you have a heart but no guts. Sister Xiaojing laughed. Girl Jing, why do you need guidance to get started with those divine arts? Where is the key to guidance? Chen Shang asked. It should be worried that it will spread out. If you need guidance, even if the formula of the heart is accidentally spread out, others will not be able to cultivate. Sister Xiaojing said. The founder definitely doesn't want his magic to fall into the hands of too many people. Quote. It's true that this kind of thing can be prevented, but what is the key to guide the entry? Chen Shang touched his chin and tortured, and said, is it the lack of the most crucial mantra? But the devil's heart and soul formula, I look very complete. Brother, I think these magical skills are very special. If you reach a certain level of cultivation, you can cultivate seeds for inheritance through cultivation methods. Sister Xiaojing said, if you have inheritance seeds, you only need to integrate them, and you can master them immediately. If this is the case, then it is impossible for me to master it through my own efforts. Chen Shang sighed. In the present Yishan, you need someone else to bestow Dao seeds in order to cultivate and break through. After reaching a certain state, you also need the guidance of the 3 ancestors to break through to become emperor. Sister Xiaojing guessed, so these magical skills should be similar. Indeed, in this way, the 3rd ancestor will be able to completely control everything. There won't be a lot of powerful creatures in Yishan. Chen Shang said, Yishan is so big, if it is not restricted, countless creatures will be born. Among them, there must be some who can become very powerful, and then shake the status of the 3rd ancestor. So, the cultivation techniques created by the Yishan powerhouses also make such restrictions. Said Sister Xiaojing. That is to say, if you want to practice the demon heart heavenly soul art or the Yaoshan divine art, you need to integrate something like a Dao seed. Chen Shang frowned and said, cultivating these two kinds of art can only cultivate the so-called divine art. Dao seed. Then I'm out of play. Well, there's really no drama. Little Jing's sister smiled and said, brother, you should wait for Guolingshe to reach that level. There is always a way. Chen Shang said, I don't believe in evil anymore. Brother, you have to master these two exercises before you can cultivate the divine exercises. Sister Xiaojing said, but you also need the divine exercises before you can cultivate these two exercises. Okay, you want to persuade me to give up, right? Chen Shang curled his lips and said, I still plan to try. It's impossible to get started. Sister Xiaojing asked, brother, I know that you have great powers and can use the technique of heaven to refine anything. But without the power of magic, it is obviously impossible to succeed. Little girl, I already have an idea, and it will definitely surprise you. Chen Shang smiled and said, who am I, Chen Shang? I am the alchemy god of the world-defying universe. Don't talk about mere gods. Sister Xiaojing is also well informed, but she can't think of any way to practice magic and Taoism out of thin air. Chen Shang is not bragging, he already has a more reliable way of thinking. The next step is to wait for charming Tianyao and Guolingshe to leave the customs, and then try secretly. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4909, Tianlian Mother Source. The method that Chen Shang thought of, required the power of Mei Tianyao and Guolingshe. He planned to extract the divine power they had cultivated through the two divine arts, and then use it to cultivate the divine arts. Specifically how to do it, he still needs to wait until he collects their power, which will take some time and can be done in secret, and they will not know. It didn't take long for Mei Tianyao and Guolingshe to cultivate together this time, and it only took 2 days to get out of the gate. Guolingshe was seriously injured before. If she healed herself, it would take many years to fully recover. Now that the Dao seed that Chen Shang refined to her has completely recovered, and her strength has improved a little. It's ready, you can leave at any time. Mei Tianyao smiled and said, Brother Shen, as long as we don't meet Emperor Guiyuan, we can all go smoothly. This time we won't be as embarrassed as before. That's good. Chen Shang nodded, took out 2 washbasin-sized crystal ***** and handed them to them. What is this? Guolingshe asked. Ling Shui, Sister Mei. If you have time, use the magical power you have cultivated to release your divine power, and then inject it into the crystal ball. Chen Shang said, because I plan to use your divine power to refine it, that is more suitable for you to eat. The magic pill. Ah, is this still possible? Mei Tianyao said in surprise. Use our divine power to concoct alchemy, and then give it to us. Of course not. Your divine energy is just a special material for alchemy. It also needs to be combined with other things. The elixir obtained in this way will be more suitable for the divine arts you are practicing. Chen Shang said with a smile. He really wanted to concoct pills for them to eat, but he didn't use their divine power to concoct pills. Okay, no problem. Mei Tianyao nodded. Mr. Shen, I also heard from my younger sister that you are an alchemist. Even in Yishan, your alchemy skills are top-notch. I'm curious, who did you learn alchemy from? Guolingshe asked. Also, that one. Guiyuan Emperor said, you created the world-defying universe. How did you create it? My alchemy technique was first taught by one of my wife, and later I realized and found my own way. Chen Shang said with a smile. As for the creation of the world-defying universe, it was all unintentional. In fact, it was also very accidental. I unknowingly contributed to the formation of the world-defying universe. Wife, where is she? Logically speaking, your wife should also be very powerful. Mei Tianyao pouted. You guy, you obviously have a wife, and you're still out there hooking up. He said just now that one of his wives means he has many wives. Guolingshe coughed a few times. Senior sister, you're still attentive. I knew that this little villain was very bad. Charming Tianyao giggled. Ling Shui, will you inject divine power into it? Chen Shang said. To be honest, I also want to take this opportunity to study the divine power of Yaoshan's divine art. No problem. Guolingshe nodded, then put the power-charging crystal ball into the storage magic weapon. Brother Shen, when can we set off? Mei Tianyao said. This time, let's not touch too big a source of creation, because it takes a lot of time to collect the source. It was also because of Chen Zhang's carelessness and indecisive retreat that he was caught by Emperor Guiyuan. He is reluctant to part with that great ancestral source of creation. If he had given up running earlier, he would not have been trapped. Well, not this time. Chen Shang nodded. Outside the world-defying universe, there are other alien universes, and they can also go to those alien universes to collect the ancestors of creation. However, Chen Shang and Tianxuan Yuling believed that they would take as much as possible from Wanzhou Mountain as much as possible to use it to weaken the overall power of Wanzhou Mountain. Previously, Emperor Guiyuan easily mobilized the power of Wanzhou Mountain, indicating that he could control Wanzhou Mountain, so Chen Shang was even more eager to weaken Wanzhou Mountain. After getting ready, Chen Shang set off for Wanzhou Mountain again. Tianxuan Yuling didn't dare to take any more risks this time. He almost killed Chen Shang and the others last time. As long as you collect the medium-sized ancestral source, it is fast and safe. Basically, as long as you go near the ancestral source, you can collect it in a short time, and you will not get stuck for a long time. Chen Shang came to Wanzhou Mountain again, and soon received a medium-sized ancestral source. In Wanzhou Mountain, if everything goes well, he will be able to gather the ancestral source of creation to refine the mother source. What surprised Chen Shang and the others was that the Emperor Guiyuan was not in Wanzhou Mountain. Chen Shang and the others took away several ancestral sources of creation, but they could not feel the breath of Emperor Guiyuan. What's the matter with Emperor Guiyuan? He's not in Wanzhou Mountain. Chen Shang frowned and said, this guy should continue to squat here. Perhaps, he felt too embarrassed, so he ran away. Mei and Yao laughed. Anyway, if we slipped under their noses before, it would definitely hit him hard. He will definitely return to Yishan, most likely to discuss how to attack the world-defying universe. Guo Lingshe said, since you broke his Guiyuan domain last time, he has been very clear that there is no way to trap you. So he will definitely find a way. Attack the world-defying universe. The Guiyuan Emperor was not there, so the people responsible for catching Chen Shang and the others were naturally the group of profound sky god generals, as well as the Lord of 10,000 Universes and the Guardian God of 10,000 Universes, but these two people were basically trolling. He didn't take Chen Shang seriously. Because they all know that Chen Shang is very slippery, and he can easily return to the world-defying universe. The Guiyuan domain of Emperor Guiyuan could entrap Chen Shang, let alone them, so the Lord of the Universe and the Patroness of the Universe were both inattentive when they acted, clearly knowing that Chen Shang was collecting the ancestral source of creation, but just leave them alone. Guo Lingshe and Mei and Yao have indeed become stronger, and they will become much easier to face the profound sky god. So Chen Shang doesn't need to go to other universes at all, just in Wanzhou Mountain, he has collected enough ancestral sources of creation. It was said before that it would take 100, but now there are more than 20, and it took almost a month before and after. After the completion, Chen Shang immediately returned to the world-defying universe. Emperor Guiyuan didn't even show up, which makes me a little worried. Guo Lingshe said, this guy must be planning something, we must beware of him. If he wants to take revenge on world-defying universe, will he kill everywhere? World-defying universe is too big. If he starts killing in world-defying universe, we can't do anything about him. Mei and Yao was very worried. Let's talk about it later. Chen Shang said. Although we don't know how he plans to fight back, we must prepare in advance. Guo Lingshe and Mei Tianyao have switched to the way of lifestyle cultivation, and they have also started to practice in seclusion. Charming Tianyao released a small palace, suspended in the void of the universe, and absorbed the energy released by Tianshuan's star field for cultivation. Chen Shang also started a new big challenge, he wants to refine a mother source. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4910, Big Collision. There is a magnificent palace in the universe heart of Wanzhou Mountain. The Lord of Wanzhou, the patron saint of Wanzhou, and the origin of the creation of Wanzhou Mountain are all in this palace. The Lord of 10,000 Universes and a group of profound heavenly generals were in a great hall at the moment, with serious expressions on their faces, they all bowed to look at the handsome man sitting in front of the hall. That man was Emperor Guiyuan. When Chen Shang collected a lot of ancestral sources in Wanzhou Mountain before, he did not appear, and he also knew that Chen Shang came to Wanzhou Mountain to make trouble again. He appeared here at the moment, sitting quietly in the hall, watching the Lord of the Universe and others. Lord of Wanzhou, that Chen Shang took a total of 153 ancestral origins from Wanzhou Mountain. Guiyuan Emperor said calmly, however, you have never successfully stopped it once. The Lord of the Universe can only be silent, because even Emperor Guiyuan can't stop him from coming in person, so why can they? Actually, I don't blame you. That Chen Shang has many tricks and methods. Emperor Guiyuan waved his hand and said, I won't blame you. Thank you, Emperor. The Lord of the Universe knelt down and bowed, and the others also learned from the Lord of the Universe and knelt down to thank him. However, there is one thing you must know. Those ancestors who created the world belong to Xuanzu. If Xuanzu is to blame, even I can't protect you. The words of Emperor Guiyuan made the Lord of the Universe and the others covered their entire bodies. Trembling. If Xuanzu wanted them to die, let alone Guiyuan Emperor Venerable, even the 5 emperors of Yishan couldn't keep it. Fortunately, Xuanzu didn't mean to punish you. Said Guiyuan Emperor Zun, however, Xuanzu needs you to make up for it. The Lord of 10,000 Universes was very helpless, because it was not their fault at all. Even the Guiyuan Emperor could not stop Chen Shang, so the Guiyuan Emperor should also be at fault. I will definitely do my best to make up for my fault. The Lord of the Universe could only agree. Xuanzu wants you to make concerted efforts to control Wanzhou Mountain to collide with the world-defying universe. Emperor Guiyuan said. The defense of the world-defining universe is extremely strong, and it is getting stronger every moment, causing Yishan to send someone into the world-defining world. The universe is very difficult. When the Lord of the Universe heard this, his face suddenly became ugly, and he clenched his teeth tightly and remained silent. This is equivalent to destroying Wanzhou Mountain. Lord of the Universe, are you willing? Emperor Guiyuan smiled lightly and said, you said it before, and you will do your best to make up for your mistakes. I do. The Lord of Wanzhou can only agree. If he does not agree, Xuanzu will definitely kill him, and then control Wanzhou Mountain to collide with the world-defying universe. However, it will take some time. The Lord of the Universe said again. After all, my ability is limited, and it is very difficult to control the entire Wanzhou Mountain to collide with other universes. Please forgive me. From now on, Xuanzu will take back all the ancestral origins of creation. Guiyuan Emperor said. Not only those of Wanzhou Mountain, but also the ancestral origins of creation in other universes. The Lord of the Universe also thought of this before. After all, none of them have the ability to protect the ancestral source of creation, and it will be a matter of time for them to be taken back. Emperor, I don't know why Chen Shang wanted to **** the ancestral origin of the world. Is there any purpose? The Lord of the Universe is also very curious about this. He wants to weaken Xuanzu's power, but he is too ignorant. He thinks that he can threaten Xuanzu by stealing more than 100 ancestral origins. Innocent fellow. Emperor Guiyuan sneered. He really thinks so. The Lord of the Universe also guessed so. Okay, let's all go to work now. Let Wanzhou Mountain collide with the world-defying universe as soon as possible. At that time, the world-defying universe will be knocked into a gap, and Chen Zhang's death period will come. Said Emperor Guiyuan. Speaking of Chen Shang, the Lord of the Universe is so angry that his teeth itch with hatred. He almost killed Chen Shang at first, but Chen Shang ran away unexpectedly. Since that time, he has never had the chance to attack Chen Shang again. Yes, Emperor Zun, the Lord of 10,000 Universes felt a lot more comfortable when he thought that Chen Shang would be arrested and killed. Lord of the Universe, don't worry, Xuanzu will give you the Dao Seed and the Divine Pill refined by Xuanzu, which can quickly increase your strength. Emperor Guiyuan said. Xuanzu will not treat you badly. Quote. Thank you, Emperor. Hearing this, a smile appeared on the face of the Lord of the Universe. After the Lord of the Universe and the others all retired, a dignified and elegant woman in white appeared behind Emperor Guiyuan. This frightened Emperor Guiyuan jumped up quickly, then kneeled respectfully, and said in a trembling voice, Meet Master. Agree, although he is helping Xuanzu with errands, and it is Xuanzu who helped you to become emperor, but don't forget, I will always be your master. When the beautiful woman spoke, there was a hint of sternness in her eyes. Looking at the Emperor Guiyuan, the emperor shivered with fright. I will always remember that Yaozu is my master. Without you, master, there would be no Guiyuan emperor today. Guiyuan emperor kowtowed again and again. The Guiyuan emperor, who was sitting majestic in the hall just now, was like a dog in the blink of an eye. It was not Xuanzu who made him so fearful, but the Yao Tianzu. Agui, do you know what Ling Shui's situation is now? Yaozu sat on the chair with his legs crossed, looking at Emperor Guiyuan coldly. Master, senior sister, she is with that Chen Shang. Emperor Guiyuan said in a low voice, that Chen Shang seems to have settled senior sister. What do you mean? Yaozu's incomparably beautiful face suddenly became cold. I don't know, I'm just guessing. I suspect that she is in love with that Chen Shang. Emperor Guiyuan was taken aback and hurriedly said, Master, you have been missing for so many years, and senior sister was sealed by Emperor Guiyuan again. She has some resentment towards you in her heart. I've been missing for so many years, and she just resents me. But you, behind my back, went to Xuanzu and wanted to attack your senior sister. Even now, you still want to take revenge on Ling Shui by my hand. Yaozu snorted angrily, and a wave of air rushed out, and Emperor Guiyuan suddenly bleeds and flew out. Master, I know I was wrong. Guiyuan Emperor shivered and said, I stay by Xuanzu's side and can know his movements. As long as Master says a word, I can betray him at any time. I'll find you again. After Yaozu finished speaking, he suddenly disappeared. Emperor Guiyuan quickly got up, turned his head and looked around to see if Yaozu really disappeared. Chen Shang has already started to refine the mother source, and he doesn't know the affairs over the Wanzhou mountain. Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao are still cultivating together at the moment, and they don't know that Yaozu, who has been missing for many years, suddenly appeared, and it's in Wanzhou mountain. Creator, there is something strange over the Wanzhou mountain. The space seems to be moving, as if it is approaching. Tian Jade Domain Spirit suddenly transmitted a voice to Chen Shang. What? Could it be that Wanzhou mountain is going to be integrated into the world-defying universe? Chen Shang frowned and said, does this have any effect on the world-defying universe? Wanzhou should collide with the world-defying universe. Although it will not destroy the world-defining universe, and it can also make the world-defying universe stronger, but the world-defining universe will become weaker for a period of time, and it is easy to be invaded by other heavens. Tianxuan Yuling said. Do you like this site? Donate here. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4911, Manchu Emperor. If it was before, the collision between Wanzhou Mountain and Aoshi Universe would definitely be unstoppable, and it would most likely be destroyed, and then the residual energy would be absorbed by Wanzhou Mountain. And now, when Wanzhou Mountain collided, it only smashed a gap in the world-defining universe, but Wanzhou Mountain would be absorbed by the world-defining universe. It sounds like a good thing. After all, after the Aoshi universe was collided, after a period of time, the gap healing can completely absorb the Wanzhou mountain, and it will definitely strengthen a lot. However, Chen Shang knew very well that during the time period when the world-defying universe had a gap, it would definitely be invaded by Yishan. Yishan has also made a lot of money. He actually decided to sacrifice Wanzhou mountain. Chen Shang exclaimed. It seems that the world-defying universe from another sky will be met with great resistance, and the self-protection ability of the world-defining universe is getting stronger and stronger. The fact that Yishan couldn't enter the world-defying universe on a large scale showed that Shen Yuanxin had improved himself very quickly during the period of retreat, which made the world-defying universe much stronger externally. Creator, the collision of Wanzhou Mountain will definitely have a great impact on the world-defying universe. We can't stop it. What we can do now is to prepare for the chaos after the collision. Tianxuan Yuling said. Tianxuan, can you attract the distant star territory? Integrate into the Tianxuan star territory. Chen Shang said. It will be very chaotic at that time, and the Aoshi universe is too big, we can't take care of too many stars domain, only important star domains can be pulled over for protection. For example, the Tianquan star territory is currently the most prosperous star territory in the world-defying universe. Yes, there is no problem, I will start now. Tianxuan Yuling said. I will try my best to protect those star fields that have grown to a certain size. At that time, there will be many star fields around the Tianxuan star field. If the mother source is successfully refined, wouldn't it be a great improvement for these star fields? Chen Shang felt very shocked when he thought about it. You must know that a large star field looks very spectacular from a distance. If multiple star fields are gathered together, both the intensity of energy and the light emitted are very strong. Indeed, as long as we can survive the next disaster, the various star fields of the world-defying universe will have a huge improvement. Tianxuan Yuling said. Chen Shang immediately contacted Guan Yiyu and told her that Tianxuan Yuling was going to pull Tianquan star territory over. Guan Yiyu was also very happy to hear about this, because she had thought about moving to the Tianxuan star territory before. The power of creation released by the Tianxuan star territory is too strong, and the energy emitted by a large number of stars is of great help to many living beings. Now wait for Chen Shang to refine the mother source. If Tianxuan star region has a mother source, even Yishan will be afraid of it. Wanzhou Mountain, the Lord of Wanzhou, the patron saint of Wanzhou, they are in the same space at the moment, and in this space they can see the origin of Wanzhou Mountain's creation. They are now controlling the movement of Wanzhou Mountain to collide with the world-defying universe. Master, are you just sitting there waiting to die? Said the guardian deity of Wanzhou. If there is no Wanzhou Mountain, my guardian deity will also die along with it. The same is true of my Wanzhou ancestral source. After so many years, I have long been connected with Wanzhou Mountain. Wanzhou Zuyuan said, I am no longer the ancestral source of creation back then, nor do I belong to Xuanyuan's source. I belong to Wanzhou Mountain. The Lord of the Universe is very helpless, because he has no power to resist in the face of Xuanzu and Emperor Guiyuan. What can I do? The Lord of the Universe sighed. Wanzhou Mountain will naturally hit it, but before that, the three of us must be one. Wanzhou Zuyuan said, we must absorb the energy of Wanzhou Mountain as much as possible, and we cannot let all of this energy be lost. Start now. Wanzhou Mountain is close to the world-defying universe. The Lord of Wanzhou also had this idea before. And now, both the patron saint and the ancestors of Wanzhou have the same idea as him. Okay, let's start now. After the agreement, the Lord of the Universe and the Patronus flew to the huge black ancestral source. That's right, the ancestral source of Wanzhou has turned black, just like the ancestral source of darkness. After the Lord of the Universe and the Patronus flew in, the black ancestral source began to spin, and there were screams of the Lord of the Universe and the Patronus of the Universe, and they seemed to be in great pain. Finding such a big movement here, a group of profound sky gods flew over immediately, and then stared at the dark ancestors in a daze. The power that this ancestral source burst out at this moment is so frightening that they dare not approach the past. The Lord of the Universe. A middle-aged profound god general shouted. At this moment, hundreds of profound sky gods will gather, and they are all shouting the name of the Lord of the Universe, hoping to get a response. The Lord of the Universe heard it and did not respond to them, because he was in so much pain right now that he could not respond at all. The group of profound sky god generals could only contact Emperor Guiyuan quickly. Emperor Guiyuan is still in Wanzhou Mountain, and he must personally supervise the collision of Wanzhou Mountain with the world-defying universe, which is also explained by Xuanzu. After he rushed over in a hurry, he heard the screams of the Lord of the Universe and the Patronus, coming from the dark ancestral source. This is, good guy, you guys have secretly created a dark ancestor. Emperor Guiyuan exclaimed in shock. Lord of the Universe, get out now. Facing such a dark ancestral source, Emperor Guiyuan also felt very difficult. He naturally did not dare to approach the past, fearing that he would be attacked by the dark ancestral source. He is very sure that there is a dark ancestor in front of him, but it is not as big as the one in the Demon Soul Star Field, it is a very small dark ancestor. Even if it is a small dark ancestor, Emperor Guiyuan does not dare to try randomly. He has become an emperor now, but he is still very afraid of dark ancestors. Emperor Guiyuan shouted a lot outside, but he didn't get a response, and he saw that the dark ancestor was spinning rapidly, absorbing the energy of Wanzhou Mountain, but it didn't take long for a big circle. The Emperor Guiyuan knew very well what was going on. The dark ancestors were absorbing the energy that devoured Wanzhou Mountain. He doesn't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but he thinks that if such a dark ancestral source hits the world-defying universe, it will definitely have a very good effect. But the premise is that he has to control this dark ancestral source. If he can't control it, he will let the Lord of the Universe take a big advantage. After a few hours, the shouting of the Lord of the Universe suddenly stopped, and he has now fully merged with the Patronus of the Universe. Emperor Guiyuan, I broke through by myself, ha ha ha. The mad laughter of the Lord of the Universe suddenly came. From now on, I am the Emperor of Wanzhou, and I broke through by myself. Feeling the breath coming from the laughter, Emperor Guiyuan was also taken aback, because this breath was similar to his, indicating that the Lord of the Universe now also has the strength of the Emperor. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4912, Emperor Zun Demonstration. Emperor Guiyuan was scolding all kinds of swear words in his heart, because he had gone through untold hardships to be a cow and a horse for Xuanzu before he could become Emperor Zun. He broke through with the help of Xuanzu, so he had to listen to Xuanzu. And now the Lord of the Universe has broken through to become Emperor Zun by himself, and he still looks very strong. Lord of all universes, I advise you to stop this behavior immediately. You become the Emperor, and it will not benefit you at all. After the Emperor Guiyuan calmed down, He hurriedly shouted. If Xuanzu knew you were doing this, he would definitely you will be punished, and you will definitely die. If you die, you will die, no matter what, I will break through to become the emperor, and I will be happy. Maybe I will kill you at that time. By the way, please call me the Emperor of Wanzhou. Ha ha ha. Quote. When Emperor Guiyuan heard these words, he felt very uncomfortable, and even had a little fear. Because Wanzhou Emperor Zun is obviously stronger, and he is not bound by Xuanzu, if he is chased and killed by Wanzhou Emperor Zun, I don't know if he can beat him. Originally, Emperor Guiyuan could be a powerful man in Wanzhou Mountain, and he was a superior person, but now he has forced the Lord of Wanzhou to become an emperor, and his heart is bitter. Bastard, aren't you still out? Emperor Wanzhou sneered. You can become Emperor Zun only by the help of Xuanzu. And I became Emperor Zun by myself. This also means that you don't have me. Powerful. Don't be complacent, just like a wild emperor like you, I can easily trample you under my feet. You wait, I'll go to ask Xuanzu for instructions. Because he continued to stay, he was afraid that he would not be able to run away. Originally, Emperor Wanzhou thought that after he became Emperor Zun, he would follow Xuanzu, but now he felt the powerful power of Emperor Zun, and he had greater ambitions, and he immediately controlled Wanzhou Mountain to stop. He decided not to let Wanzhou Mountain collide with the world-defying universe. He wanted to keep Wanzhou Mountain. After he became Emperor Zun, he would definitely lack energy, and he might be the enemy of Xuanzu, so he wanted to devour Wanzhou. The energy of the mountain. Chen Shang is very worried now. He is still quite worried that Wanzhou Mountain will collide, and the world-defying universe will become very chaotic. Creator, Wanzhou Mountain has suddenly stopped approaching, but fortunately it has begun to retreat, and is moving away from the world-defying universe. Tianxuan Yuling is also very puzzled about this. Why is this happening? Don't they collide with the world-defying universe? Chen Shang frowned. Tianxuan, are you sure? Or are they deliberately confusing us? I'm sure. Tianxuan Yuling said. This is too sudden, why is this happening? Maybe their plans have changed. Chen Shang said. No matter what, we still have to beware of them. Yes, I will continue to call the major star fields over. Tianxuan Yuling continued to be vigilant. Chen Zhang's refining of the mother source this time requires a lot of time and energy. Fortunately, refining it in the center of the Tianxuan star region can make him very at ease, because there is nothing missing here, and it is very safe. In the blink of an eye, Chen Shang had been refining for over a month, and he was still within the time domain of the divine mirror of 6 paths. A month has passed outside, but he has spent 100 years in the time domain. He still hasn't refined the mother source yet, because it's really too difficult. In the process of refining the mother source, the godly furnace also has a way of absorbing energy. Fortunately, there are Tao seeds inside the godly furnace, and the godly furnace is also refining the mother source while improving itself. Mei Tianyao and Guoling She also came out several times during their retreat and cultivation. They didn't know what Chen Shang was doing, they just chatted casually and returned to their small palace. This month, Tianxuan Yuling is more certain that Wanzhou Mountain is far away from the world-defying universe, and it is not even as close as before. Chen Shang was very curious about why this happened. He guessed that something must have happened in Wanzhou Mountain. Just when Chen Shang started to relax his vigilance, news suddenly came from Tianxuan Yuling. Creator, Wanzhou Mountain has an energy that is passing over. It seems to be sending a message. Tianxuan Yuling said. Can you introduce that energy into my divine mirror of 6 paths? Chen Shang said, it's very likely that Wanzhou Mountain wants to communicate with me. Yes, the message that Tianxuan Yuling is about to send will be connected to the 6 paths divine mirror. Chen Shang, ha ha ha, do you know who I am? This arrogant voice came, causing Mei Tianyao and Guoling She, who were cultivating in the small palace, to wake up and hurriedly ran out. Lord of the universe, Chen Shang said solemnly. You bastard, what are you planning to do? I'm not the Lord of Wanzhou, I am Emperor Wanzhou, ha ha ha. Emperor Wanzhou laughed loudly. The gap between us is really getting bigger and bigger, and you are now far behind me. You have become an emperor. Who helped you break through? Chen Shang was very surprised. I broke through by myself. Before, that bastard, Emperor Guiyuan, wanted to force me to smash Wanzhou Mountain into the universe of the world. Under such a desperate situation, I broke through by myself, and even scared the **** away from Emperor Guiyuan. Speaking of this matter, the Wanzhou Emperor is very proud. Chen Shang and Tianquan Yuling now understand what happened before. You come to contact me now, what's the matter? Chen Shang was very shocked in his heart, and even panicked, but he could only keep calm now. The Lord of the Universe becomes the Emperor, and the words of the Guiyuan Emperor mean that his enemies have two powerful emperors, which is very difficult. My Wanzhou Mountain is far away from the world-defining universe, it's not that I am afraid of you. It's, Xuanzu is gathering his troops and will concentrate on taking the world-defining universe. Wanzhou Emperor Zun said, when the time comes, you will lose both, and I'll have the last laugh, haha. I won't let you succeed. Chen Shang chuckled. It seems that you hate Xuanzu more. If I were you, I would take the initiative to join Xuanzu's camp, only in this way will I have a chance to take me down. Quote. He has already seen the thoughts of Emperor Wanzhou. If he can break through to become emperor by himself, he is naturally unwilling to be Xuanzu's bull and horse, and even has great ambitions to fight Xuanzu. This is a good thing for Chen Shang. He was worried that Emperor Wanzhou was also a subordinate of Xuanzu. Ha ha ha, Chen Shang, I'm waiting for your good news. Emperor Guiyuan will be killed soon. Just wait. After Wanzhou Emperor finished speaking, he withdrew the communication energy. Madian Yao and Guo Lingshe listened with solemn expressions on the side. This guy actually broke through by himself. I'm a bit envious. Madian Yao gritted his teeth and said, how on earth did he do it? World Defying Dan God Chapter 4913, The Mystery of Tianlianji. Both Madian Yao and Guo Lingshe were hit hard, because they were trapped in that realm for many years like Emperor Wanzhou before, but in the end they couldn't break through to become Emperor Zun. Otherwise, with their foundation and talent, they would have reached that realm long ago. How did he break through? Chen Shang pondered for a while, and said, the reason why he succeeded in breaking through was because Xuanzu helped him. Obviously not. He should have been forced into a desperate situation, died and survived, and then made a breakthrough by mistake. Madian Yao said, this guy's breakthrough is really not good news. Emperor Guiyuan, this coward, is obviously shriveled in Wanzhou Mountain. Chen Shang said, if there is a way to make Emperor Guiyuan and Emperor Wanzhou confront each other, that would be great. Emperor Wanzhou made it very clear just now that he hopes that both the universe and Xuanzu will suffer. Guo Lingshe said. At this time, the voice of Tianquan Yuling came, saying, he broke through with a small dark ancestor. There should have been a Wanzhou ancestor in Wanzhou Mountain. This used to be a creation ancestor, but it was assimilate to become the ancestral source of the universe, and somehow become the ancestral source of darkness. What? Chen Shang was taken aback and said, if it is really the origin of the dark ancestor, then it must be Xuanzu who is secretly making a ghost. Emperor Wanzhou just doesn't know it. No matter what, we must be vigilant. Guo Lingshe said. Tianquan, is the dark ancestor of Wanzhou Mountain still in Wanzhou Mountain? Chen Shang asked. Yes, but the breath is very weak now. I don't know what's going on. I suspect that the Wanzhou Emperor is controlling the entire Wanzhou Mountain, compressing the dark ancestors to a smaller size. This requires a great price, but if it succeeds, I am afraid that even Xuanzu will not be able to control him. This guy is really a ruthless man. Madian Yao cursed in a low voice, if I knew earlier, I should have killed him first. What price does he have to pay for cultivating that dark ancestor? Chen Shang asked. According to the situation of Wanzhou Mountain that I perceive now, some small universes are disappearing one after another. Maybe, he sacrificed those small universes for training. Tianquan Yuling said, he has completely sacrificed himself now. This guy, if he really gets rid of Xuanzu and becomes Emperor Zun, it would be really admirable. This kind of guy is also the most terrifying. Madian Yao said, I just don't know how Xuanzu will deal with him. He will control the contraction of Wanzhou Mountain, control multiple universes to sacrifice themselves to form defenses, and block Yishan's passage into Wanzhou Mountain. He is strengthening the space wall of Wanzhou Mountain. Tianquan Yuling said. It happened to be during this period of time, Xuanzu has withdrawn all the ancestral sources of creation in order to reduce losses. Xuanzu withdraws the ancestral source of creation, it will be even more difficult to control Wanzhou Mountain. This Wanzhou Emperor Zun has a good chance. Even Guo Lingshe admired Wanzhou Emperor Zun. Yeah, the scumbag Emperor Guiyuan is far inferior to Emperor Wanzhou. If these two people are pinched, it will be in the best interest for us. Madian Yao clenched his jade fist tightly and said, we have to think about it. The only way is to make them fight, otherwise they will all come to deal with us. Chen Shang thought the same thing before, but Emperor Wanzhou just came to pretend and ran away, and he also made it clear that he wanted to see the world-defying universe being smashed by Xuanzu, and he also believed that the world-defying universe had enough ability to make Zanzuo smash it. Zhu lost a lot. Emperor Guiyuan has already gone to other alien universes, and there will be new alien universes hitting our world-defying universe. Tianxuan Yuling said, "This is something we can't stop. The universe and the universe collide, how can this be stopped? Unless the ancestor of the alien universe controls it, there is absolutely no way." Emperor Guiyuan had been deflated at Wanzhou Mountain, and he would definitely not make mistakes in other universes. Then won't we be finished by then? Meidian Yao was very worried, her beautiful face was full of sadness. "I managed to integrate into the world-defining universe, and the way of transforming the lifestyle is also very smooth, and I am on the right track. Is the world-defying universe just about to end?" Junior sister, each universe will experience many setbacks in the process of growing up. Like us humans, it is not smooth sailing. Guo Lingshe said, "If the world-defying universe can survive this catastrophe, it will definitely become stronger. Don't worry, when the mother source is refined, the world-defying universe will be able to fight against Xuanzu." Chen Shang looked at the huge world-defying divine furnace in front of him, his deep eyes full of anticipation. "What, Brother Shen, are you creating the mother source?" When Mei Tianyao heard this, although he thought it was outrageous, he was very shocked when he saw that Chen Shang was in charge of the huge divine furnace and had to believe it. Guo Lingshe was so shocked that she was speechless. She had followed her master, Yaozu, since she was a child, so she naturally knew that her mother was a great existence, and that her master was also conceived by her mother. She once asked Yaozu, how did the mother source come from? Even Yaozu didn't know, only that the mother source was something that was refined by heaven, not something that could be created by humans. Yes, before you accompany me to take away so many ancestral sources of creation, just to create the ancestral source. This ancestral source does not need to be too large, as long as it has the ability of the ancestral source. Chen Shang smiled and said, "If it is really created, you are also considered participants." Senior sister, Master Yaozu is often with Mu Yuan, so how much do you know about Mu Yuan? Charming Tian Yao hurriedly pulled Guo Lingshe, who was in shock. "I'm not too sure. I just heard Master say that the source of the mother is something that is refined in the sky, and humans cannot create the source of the mother." Guo Lingshe looked at the huge divine furnace with shock. "It's not like I created it out of thin air. After all, I used multiple ancestral sources to refine it," Chen Shang said. Master once guessed that Yishan's so-called Tianlianji at the beginning was most likely inside a pill furnace. Guo Lingshe recalled with a frown, and said, Yishan during the Tianlianji period was a pill furnace, and all the mother sources are all pieces of a pill. Later, the pill refining failed, the pill furnace was destroyed, and there was a catastrophe at the end of the Tianlianji, and in the end, a different heaven was formed. Doesn't it mean that the inside of that pill furnace is very large? Can it accommodate the vast universe? This is just Master's guess. Guo Lingshe shook his head and said, now this stove is the largest I've ever seen. There are multiple ancestral sources of creation inside, so I suddenly remembered Master's guess. It is indeed possible. Tianxuan Yuling suddenly spoke, and said, this world-defying universe, why is it not made by alchemy? The Creator also made an unintentional act at the beginning, which led to the formation of the world-defining universe, but he did not fail in alchemy. Quote. Guo Lingshe and Meidian Yao looked at Chen Shang in shock again. They couldn't imagine that this huge world-defying universe was actually created by Chen Zhang's alchemy. Cough cough. At that time, the world-defying universe was still very young, and the pill furnace I used was not this one. Chen Shang said, the world-defying universe you see now has experienced a lot to grow into this. World-defying Dan God Chapter 4914, Proud Mother Origin. Meidian Yao knew that Chen Shang was an alchemist, but he didn't know that Chen Shang could actually concoct so many things through alchemy. Chen Zhang's previous refining of Taoist ancestral sources was enough to make Mei Tianyao and Guo Lingshe feel unbelievable. Chen Shang can still refine the ancestral source now. If Chen Shang really refines the mother source, then his potential is really huge. In Guo Lingshui's opinion, Chen Shang is as powerful as the third ancestor, and even has the possibility of surpassing the third ancestor. After all, Chen Shang can refine the mother source. If the world-defying universe has a mother source, it will no longer be afraid of the invasion of other heavens. Give Chen Shang enough time to practice, and sooner or later he will become the strongest person in the world-defying universe, and as the ancestor of the world-defining universe, he will definitely be able to use the power of the world-defying universe. Guo Lingshe has been with her master Yaozu since she was a child, so she can see far from Chen Shang. Although Mei Tianyao was not as far as she thought, she also knew that Chen Shang had a terrible potential. Fortunately, she is not Chen Zhang's enemy now, otherwise she will not know how she died in the future. Brother Shen, what would happen if Aoshi universe had a mother source? Mei Tianyao asked. I don't know either, it's because Tianxuan asked me to customize it. Chen Shang said. To be honest, I really don't know the direction of this giant celestial body, I'm just responsible for refining the mother source, and then hand it over to Tianxuan. Guo Lingshe and Mei Tianyao looked at the core of the star field in the distance. There was a very strong light and it was also very huge. They hoped to get the answer from Tianxuan Yuling. The mother source is the source of the creation power. With the mother source, you can obtain the endless creation power through the mother source. Tianxuan Yuling also replied, with the endless creation power, the world-defying universe will be if you can expand, everything will grow quickly. Ling Shui, Sister Mei, you should go and cultivate. With your current strength, in the future, if you face Emperor Guiyuan and Emperor Wanzhou in the future, that's not an opponent at all. Chen Shang said, and in Yishan, there are still others. The 4 emperors are from the Xuanzu camp. As long as Xuanzu is willing, there can be many such things as Emperor Zun at any time. Guo Lingshui's cold face gradually became solemn. At that time, we will have to face many Emperor Zun. She was right, and the Mei Tianyao was also full of anxiety about it. After all, it was a powerful emperor. If there were 10 or 8, then it would be impossible for people to live. There are no restrictions in the glory universe. As long as we put in enough effort, we can break through and have the power of Emperor Zun. Chen Shang was very relieved to see her working so hard. After all, Guo Lingshe is a very useful tool person. If she can become stronger, she must be a very good thug. Guo Lingshe and Mei Tianyao went to retreat to practice again. At this time, the heavenly jade domain spirit is also injecting more energy into the small palace where they are located, which can allow them to absorb more energy. Tianxuan, you take good care of them, Chen Shang said with a smile. After all, they have a very solid foundation, and they are on the creator's side. In the future, they can play a great role in the face of Yishan's attack. Tianxuan Yuling said. The people of Yishan attacking in is the matter of your creatures, and I will also face the attack of those celestial bodies from Yishan. Alien celestial bodies, such as the dark ancestral origin, are also very terrifying. In a void area in the outer layer of the world-defining universe, there is a vast expanse of white, and the area that emits a strong golden light in front is the outer space of the world-defining universe. At this moment, a woman in a white dress and bare feet stood in the air. The woman is very beautiful, and the beauty is very unreal. It makes people feel that she is illusory and dreamlike. On her dreamlike jade face, you can see the thousands of gestures of the woman, pure, elegant, charming, noble, cold, warm, gentle. This woman is Yaozu, and she is looking at the proud universe that blooms with strong golden light. Behind her, there was a man kneeling in the void, shivering. The man is the Emperor Guiyuan. Master, Guiyuan Emperor Zun's voice had a fearful tone, like crying but not crying. Because the Yaozu in front of him is much more terrifying than what Emperor Guiyuan had seen before, it was the Yaozu he had never seen before. It shows that Yaozu's current realm has improved. I'm not your master, Yaozu said coldly. Yes, master, the Emperor Guiyuan said again. You control that otherworldly universe to collide with the world-defying universe. Yaozu asked. Zumadian, this is a very large universe, and the space of this universe is extremely strong. If you collide with it, you will definitely be able to break through the world-defying universe. Emperor Guiyuan answered truthfully, it was an order from Xuanzu. I haven't seen it for many years, Xuanzu is still as stupid and arrogant as before. Yaozu sneered. Master, what do you say? Emperor Guiyuan was really curious, so he couldn't help but ask, isn't it wrong to collide with the world-defying universe? This will only quickly enhance the world-defining universe. Yaozu said. The world-defying universe is now extremely hungry, let alone the little Zumadian, even if it is a different heaven, it can swallow it. Ah, Emperor Guiyuan was very shocked, and said again, but as long as you make a breach, you can attack the world-defying universe. Master, even with your current strength, you can't enter the world-defying universe, right? The question is, how easy is it to capture the world-defying universe? Yaozu said. Xuanzu didn't face the world-defining universe, and sooner or later he would suffer. Master, what do you think of this world-defying universe? Guiyuan Emperor Zun was terrified in his heart. He didn't expect Yaozu's evaluation of Aoshi universe to be so high. Yaozu didn't answer. Also at this moment, the outer wall of the Aoshi cosmos space with golden light in front suddenly swayed. Zumatian has hit the cosmos universe, causing space fluctuations. The outer wall of the cosmos universe has not ruptured on a large scale. Guiyuan Emperor Zun shouted in surprise. World Aoshi universe is far more terrifying than I thought. Yaozu said. Go and see the impact. In just an instant, Yaozu came to the place of collision, where white light and golden light meet. The vast Zumatian universe broke through the outer wall of the world-defying universe and was embedded in the world-defying universe, and there was also a gap in this area. After Yaozu saw the gap, she flashed in an instant, and she finally came to Aoshi universe. Guiyuan Emperor Zun followed immediately. He knew that he had succeeded, and soon, maybe Xuanzu would also come to the world-defying universe. Also at this time, the huge incomparable world-defying divine furnace in the center of Tianshuan starfield suddenly opened its lid. Chen Shang used the technique of alchemy, and finally succeeded in refining the mother source. The proud mother was born. With the heavenly jade domain spirit as the center, a burst of strong golden light swept out, instantly spreading to all parts of the world-defying universe. World-defying Dan God Chapter 4915, Yuan Xin wakes up. After the proud mother source came out of the divine furnace, Chen Shang immediately controlled the 6-path divine mirror to fly away. Guo Lingshe and Madian Yao were cultivating in the small palace. When they felt a strong movement, Chen Shang had already taken their small palace space and jumped into the distance. The mother source was still in the center of Tianshuan star territory. When she came out of the divine furnace, she was very irritable. At that moment, Chen Shang was very sure that this thing could not be suppressed by himself, and could only be handed over to Tianshuan star territory. Go tame. Although the world-defying origin was personally refined by Chen Shang, who controlled the world-defying divine furnace, in the refining process, he mainly used the power of the heavenly jade star region to fuse and refine multiple Genesis ancestral origins. This requires a very powerful force to complete. Chen Shang believes that if it relies on the power of human beings, I am afraid that it will take the 3 ancestors to work together to do it. And this kind of work is an easy thing for the entire Tianshuan star region. The heavenly jade domain spirit can invoke the power to control the heavenly jade star domain. If it is very needed, it can also borrow energy from the stars of the entire heavenly jade star domain, and then gather it together. That is the most terrifying. You must know that there are all kinds of large and small star fields near the Tianshuan star field. The star fields of the world-defying universe are basically pulled by the Tianshuan star field with powerful energy in a short period of time. The Aoshi universe was broken through a hole, but fortunately, the Tianshuan star field united multiple star fields to form a powerful defensive barrier. If a foreign enemy invades and wants to get in touch with the core energy of the world-defying universe, it needs to enter each star field, and now almost all star fields are gathered and protected. Are we still in the Tianshuan star territory? Guo Lingshe came out of the small palace and looked at the very dazzling bright light in the distance. Although it was far away from the center, the rays of light made people feel very hot. Guo Lingshe had just come out, and the beautiful face of Jade White was slightly reddened by the strong light. The Madian Yao also came out at this time, and quickly covered his eyes, and then hurriedly touched his face. What is this, such a terrible light? Her face was also reddened by the golden light. The 6 paths mirror has released the protective cover, but the light passing through the protective cover is still very strong. We are in the outer area of Tianshuan star territory. Chen Shang said. It's still safe here. In fact, as long as you can block that kind of light, it's fine to be close to the center. If we get close to the center, we will all turn into charcoal. Madian Yao stuck out his tongue and sighed. How scary. As she used the divine power in her body to resist and adapt to the strong light, the discomfort gradually disappeared. Just when Chen Shang and the others were watching the center of the Tianshuan star region, they suddenly felt an incomparably violent space shock coming. Come on. Chen Shang drank in a deep voice, then looked at the sky and said. What a terrifying sense of space tearing. A different universe collided. It is still so far from the edge of the world-defining universe, but the movement is still so loud. If it is near the impact, I am afraid it will be more fortunate. Guo Lingshe was also in a heavy heart at the moment. The world-old universe now has a mother source, and it will definitely be able to survive it. Charming heavenly demon was also shocked by this power. Although they are all strong from other heavens, their power is limited to human beings or living beings, and they have never felt the power of this supergiant celestial body. At this moment, it is the collision of two universes, and the destruction caused by the destructive force can be imagined. Fortunately, most of the star fields are concentrated in this area, and they can form a huge star field formation with each other, which can be regarded as a very strong defense. Chen Shang said, I hope that the mother source can really help the world-defying universe get through this disaster. The birth of the mother source, the world-defining universe was collided, and two extremely strong waves were generated at the same time. If you wander around outside, even a very strong person is very likely to be strangled to death by the energy turbulence. Also at this moment, a girl's voice suddenly came from Chen Zhang's mind. Dad, what's the matter? There is a big gap in the world-defying universe, and there seems to be something incredible in the world-defying universe. This was Shen Yuanxin's voice. She, who had been sleeping for many days, was also awakened by this big movement. Chen Shang quickly and briefly told her that there was a collision in a different universe, as well as the matter of the heavenly jade star territory and the origin. Xiao Yuanxin, has the double universe been affected? Chen Shang asked. The second layer universe is very mysterious, and it has not been discovered by Yishan yet, but Chen Shang believes that the heavenly jade domain spirit should be able to feel it. Double universe space is very stable, there is no problem at present. Dad, you are too powerful, you can create the Tianxing star field with your own strength. I can't even create it. Shen Yuanxin also felt Tianxing now, the power of the domain. Little baby, you have been sleeping for so long, how do you feel now? Chen Shang said with a smile. It feels good, I have a new understanding. I have to think about it now. Shen Yuanxin giggled and said, Dad, the third dimension of the universe has been formed. Now it is slowly growing. Really, it's been a long time since I entered the second level universe, and I don't know how it is now. Chen Shang sighed. The world-proud temple and the 100 Flowers temple have been inside for a long time. There are a lot of stars in it now. Shen Yuanxin said, double universe space has not been affected, everything is running stably. How did those stars come from? Chen Shang was very curious about this, and said, did they absorb the stars of creation power? Or did they steal them from the first level universe? It's not stealing, it's the power of creation, that is, the power of creation penetrates into the double universe space, and then I gather it together. Shen Yuanxin said. What, is there such a thing? Could it be that there is an ancestral source of creation? Chen Shang suddenly became a little worried. No, I don't know what's wrong, but the power of creation has penetrated into the second layer universe from many places, and there are still quite a few. Shen Yuanxin said, Dad, I'll take a look at that gap first. I'll try it and see if I can make it up as soon as possible. Maybe with the power of the dual universe, we can speed up the repair of that space gap. If it is possible, that would be great. Go. Chen Shang was surprised at the same time, but also a little worried, because the second level universe has a lot of creation power of unknown origin. Generally, the creation power of this scale is due to multiple creation ancestors, or there is a mother source. However, the mother source of the arrogant universe has just been refined, and the dual universe space has been infiltrated by the power of creation very early, and a large number of stars have been formed quickly. While Chen Shang was thinking, Guo Lingshui's expression suddenly changed, and he exclaimed, Young Master Shen. I feel that Master is using Yaoshan divine art. World-defying Dan God Chapter 4916, The Second Ancestor. Guo Lingshui was in Aoshi universe and could perceive her master's use of Yaoshan divine art. Does this mean that her master Yaozu has come to Aoshi universe? Ling Shui, are you sure? Could it be that your master is in the world-defying universe? Chen Shang was surprised. What is she doing here? Didn't she disappear for many years? Why did she suddenly appear in the world-defying universe? I don't know if that's the case or not. In short, I can feel the power fluctuations generated by Yaoshan's magic. Although it comes from a distance, it can only be felt in the same universe. Guo Lingshui shook her head, and said yes. This is very skeptical. I'm not sure if it's Master, but only Master can radiate this kind of power wave through Yaoshan divine art. Could it be Xuanzu? This guy seems to know Yaoshan's magic. Chen Shang said. It's not Xuanzu, this is the ability of Yaoshan Shenggong Yinshu. Guo Lingshe said. Shen Gongzi is, it may really be the Master. Can you find her? Chen Shang was very worried, and said, to be honest, I'm a little worried that she is bad. She is Yishan's Yaozu, and the world-defining universe can threaten Yishan, from her point of view, will hurt her interests. I don't know what will happen in the end. Guo Lingshe bit her lip, this is where she is very conflicted. She is also very worried that her master will conflict with Chen Shang, and she doesn't know what to do at that time. Senior sister, can you contact Master? Meidian Yao took her hand, shook her arm, and whispered, if Master is really an enemy of Brother Shen, what should we do then? Even Meidian Yao was very embarrassed, because she really wanted to be Yaozu's apprentice, but she didn't want to be an enemy of Chen Shang. I don't know. Guo Lingshe was in a mess, shaking her head again and again, and said, I can't get in touch with Master, she just released a wave of power just now, but soon disappeared, she must be hiding her breath. Let's ignore this matter. Now that there is a breach in the world-defying universe, Xuanzu will definitely send someone from Yishan to capture the world-defining universe. Chen Shang said, if Yaozu is in the world-defining universe, if there is any action, it will be known soon. Because if you want to get anything from the world-defying universe, you must enter the Tianquan star territory. Also, if she really comes to defeat the universe, we can wait here until she comes, and we don't have to look for her at all. Guo Lingshe nodded. Tianquan star territory is still merging the parent source. During the process of fusion, a very terrifying energy overflow is generated, forming a strong light and releasing it with extremely high heat, and sometimes it will be like a burst of strong light wave shocks. Fortunately, the stars near the Tianquan star territory are all very powerful stars. These stars themselves are not afraid of heat, but now they are still greedily absorbing the energy that erupted. Yaozu has indeed entered the world-defying universe, and now she is outside the star field group, looking at the star fields the size of the mouth of a bull in the distance. From her position, those star fields are indeed as big as a bull, but she knows very well that they are all huge star fields. At this moment, they are so densely gathered in one area, and they are still surrounded in an orderly manner, rotating with the super-huge star field in the center. How can this world-defying universe have such a powerful control? It can bring so many stars together in a short period of time, and it can be coordinated in such an orderly manner. Yaozu was very surprised, and then stared at the explosion in the center, a super-huge star field of strong light. The scale of that star field is too large, I'm afraid there are none in other heavens, right? Emperor Guiyuan was shocked and said, it seems that he is the supreme emperor in the star field, commanding large and small star fields. Xuanzu is going to suffer a big loss this time. Yaozu sneered. Although that Sumerian is not a small alien universe, but after it collides in, it will not be long before it will be eaten up by the world-proud universe. A large number of Zumatian stars have entered the world-defying universe. As soon as those stars come in, they seem to be chaotic, but they seem to be moving fast according to a certain pattern, and the speed is still very fast, but in a blink of an eye, they are scattered. Drift into the depths of the empty and proud universe. The star regions of the world-proud universe are all concentrated, so there are large areas in the world-proud universe that are very empty. Strange, there are so many stars in Zumatian, it seems that not many of them are floating towards that group of stars. Yaozu frowned lightly and said, the stars of Zumatian disappear when they fly, don't they all fall into the world-defying universe? Space gaps. Are there so many space gaps in the Aoshi universe? In fact, they were all pulled into the second universe by Shen Yuanxin, and it seemed that they were indeed caught in a space gap. Something's wrong. Emperor Guiyuan also found out, and said, Master, this world-defying universe seems to be ready. The star field is assembled to form a very powerful defense. It is extremely difficult to break through. Then there is space in the empty area of the world-defining universe. Cracks, engulfing and crushing the foreign stars, and finally turning them into energy and flowing into the star field cluster. It seems to be the case. Yaozu looked solemn and sighed. This world-defying universe is really unfathomable. It is a universe with extremely high intelligence, and it operates in a very orderly manner without any force interference. With the power of human beings, it is difficult to defeat such a universe. Master, what am I going to do next? Emperor Guiyuan asked. You go back to your life and tell Xuanzu about the situation here. Let's see what he plans to do. You'd better encourage him to control all the other universes to crash into the world-defying universe. Yaozu had a whim and sneered. If multiple different universes are smashed in, I don't know what the world-defying universe will grow to. What will happen to Yishan then? Emperor Guiyuan suddenly shuddered when he heard the words. Yishan should have died long ago. Yaozu said. After Tianlianji, Yishan began to decline, and the era of the three ancestors should end. Guiyuan Emperor is very unwilling in his heart. He has just become the emperor of Yishan. That is a very rare position. But now Yaozu told him that Yishan was going to die. He felt very uncomfortable. He left the world-defying universe from that gap and returned to Yishan to find Xuanzu. After supporting Guiyuan Emperor Venerable, Yaozu made a space jump and went to Tianshuan Star Territory, because she knew that her disciple Guolingxie was in Tianshuan Star Territory at this moment. After making multiple space jumps in a row, Yaozu suddenly felt that someone was following her, which made her stop immediately. The person who can follow her is not an ordinary person, so she immediately guessed who it was. Longzu, long time no see. Haven't you been abolished by Xuanzu? But your strength is not weaker than your peak period. After Yaozu stopped, he said solemnly, I didn't expect the dignified Longzu, it's actually sneaky, like a follower. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4917, Alien Convergence. At this time, an old man slowly appeared in front of Yaozu. He smiled and said, Little girl, I am also your elder anyway, can't you be polite? Aren't you abolished? Yaozu asked. She was still very surprised by this, because Longzu was severely injured by Xuanzu's defeat at the beginning, and it was equivalent to being abolished. There was no possibility of recovering his strength at all, and even Longzu's source was taken away. But the dragon ancestor in front of him still looks very powerful. Hey, Xuanzu just abolished my clone. Longzu he smiled. Little girl, although it has always been said that the strongest of the three ancestors is Xuanzu. But I think you are the strongest. Longzu, don't be humble. You should be the strongest one. Yaozu said expressionlessly. Just your clone can fight Xuanzu for decades. What is it? Xuanzu said that you were forced into the Jedi by him, and your Yao grandmother's source was also occupied by him. But I see your current strength, how can you not be forced to that level by Xuanzu? Longzu smiled, like a very kind and gentle old grandfather, who looked harmless to humans and animals. Longzu, you know why you ask. You and I should know very well that it is not Xuanzu who is robbing our mother source, but our mother source who chose Xuanzu. Yaozu said. Since the mother source made a choice, then even if the Tao is different, there is no need to retain the mother's source. It turns out that you are the same, I thought it was just my mother who betrayed me. Longzu sighed, with a bit of melancholy and reluctance in his eyes. Mother Yuan has never been loyal to us, nor can we talk about betrayal. Yaozu said. Look at it. In any case, we are all born because of our mother's origin. We are all raised by our mother's origin. That is equivalent to our own mother. Longzu sighed again and shook his head again and again. Perhaps, we are just a tool for parenting. Yaozu sneered. So there is no need to invest any feelings. We have lived to this age, and we have long been ruthless and ruthless. Longzu, you are so sentimental, and you are so sentimental and righteous. This will hurt you. In any case, I have to figure out why Mu Yuan chose Zanzu. Longzu said. Do you still need to figure this out? It's nothing more than that Xuanzu and the three mother sources have the same idea. Yaozu looked at the center of the Tianshuan star field and said, Longzu, there is a mother source being born there. We should now go and find out how that mother source was formed. That mother source is not familiar to us. Longzu shook his head and said, I know the mother source better than you. That thing just has the ability of the mother source, but it is not the real mother source. You and I join forces to open an entrance in the outer barrier of that star field, let's go in and find out. Yaozu said. No, I don't want to die yet. Longzu said. We are out of Yishan, out of the mother source in Yishan, and in other people's universe, running into that kind of place is simply courting death. Is it really going to die? Yaozu frowned thoughtfully and said, after we lost our mother, we would be so weak. That's the truth, Longzu said with a wry smile. We need to adapt to the days without a mother. Just as they were talking, two powerful space shock waves were heard in the distance. There are two different universes that are flying over. It should be Xuanzu who shot. Longzu said. It is estimated that the gap will be torn open even more, and then the different universes can directly hit that star field. Will Xuanzu succeed? That star field should be the core of this universe. If it is broken through, the chi of this universe will almost come to an end. Yaozu sighed. It's a bit of a pity, it's obviously a good one. The universe. Here, we may all find a way to push our limits. I don't want this universe to be destroyed, but this kind of thing is not something we can stop. Without the power of the Mother Source, we are very weak and cannot fight the giant celestial body at all. Long Zhu said. Let's wait and see what happens. Yaozu looked at the powerful Tianshuan star territory, somewhat unwilling. Yaozu, who used to be so powerful in another world, was now reduced to cosmic dust. Chen Shang is still in the heavenly jade star territory. He can feel that the entire heavenly jade star territory is getting stronger and stronger, especially the outer defensive barrier, which has become very strong under the maintenance of the power released by multiple star territories. No, another alien universe has come over. After Chen Shang sensed it, he frowned and said, this time, there may be an alien universe that will directly reach the vicinity of the heavenly jade star territory and directly hit the outer knot of the heavenly jade star territory boundary. Is this Xuanzu's handwriting? Is it worth it for him to sacrifice so many different universes? Guo Lingshe gritted his teeth and said, if the world-defining universe is destroyed, what will he gain? Guo Lingshe and charming Tianyao felt more and more that the potential of the world-defying universe was huge. If it developed, it would definitely not be weaker than Yishan, and there was no restriction on the cultivation level in the world-defining universe. It's okay, it's just a few different universes, it can't destroy the world-defying universe. Chen Shang is not too worried, because he knows that the second dimension of the world-defying universe is in need of a large number of stars. Shen Yuanxin will definitely take advantage of the chaos and move most of the stars of the different universe that came in, to add bricks and mortar to the double space of the world-defining universe. If the double space is full, there is still a triple space. They are going to tear apart the space gap of the world-defying universe, and then connect the different universe. Tianshuan Yuling said, I can already feel that there is a huge universe moving. The scale of that universe, it is hundreds of times as big as the world-defying universe, it should be a different heaven. Is it hundreds of times as big as the world-defying universe? This scared Chen Shang a lot. Tianshuan, what will happen then? Chen Shang was a little uneasy. I don't know, Tianshuan Yuling said. Maybe, it will be integrated into Yishan, or it may be torn apart by Yishan. But no matter what, I can guarantee that Tianshuan star territory is in a complete state. Chen Shang was very worried, what would happen to Shen Yuanxin if the world-defying universe was torn apart? What will happen to the double space? With a burst of strong light in the distance, another universe collided with the universe of the world, and the original opening was also torn apart. A large number of stars poured into the world-defying universe. Although the stars are huge, they are pouring in at this moment, and when viewed from a distance, it is like a sandstorm. Every star is like a grain of sand, sweeping through the world-defying universe with the energy that turns into a gust of wind. What made Chen Shang feel relieved was that the world-defying universe was just the gap in the outer space wall being enlarged, which showed that the inner space was very stable. Do you like this site? Donate here. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4918, Invincible Star Field. Seeing such a scene, Chen Shang was also quite worried that there would be other problems in the world-defying universe. After all, several different universes suddenly collided one after another, and he didn't know enough about the specific situation of the world-defying universe. He can only contact Shen Yuanxin immediately. Little Yuanxin, how is the current situation of the world-defying universe? In the face of the collision of several other universes, are there any serious problems? Chen Shang asked. Father, Aoshi universe is currently very stable. Everything is fine, but the gap has become much bigger. Shen Yuanxin replied. Can you perceive Yishan? Yishan is many times larger than World Aosphere universe, and is approaching. Chen Shang said. I can feel it, Shen Yuanxin said, but still don't worry. As long as Yishan can't destroy the laws of the world-defying universe, then they must follow the laws here when they enter the world-defying universe. Oh, so, after entering the world-defying universe, they can control it, right? Chen Shang suddenly felt relieved. Although Yishan is many times larger than the world-defying universe, their creatures are also very powerful. But the heavenly jade star territory is not weak, and there is no celestial body that is powerful enough to be comparable to the heavenly jade star territory. Shen Yuanxin said with a smile, Dad, the Tianquan star field you created is too strong. I understand, Yishan is very big, but there is a mess of scattered sand inside. It is impossible to condense enough strength to fight against the heavenly Jade Star territory. As long as the heavenly Jade Star territory does not collapse, there will be no problem with the world-defying universe. Chen Shang heard Shen Yuanxin's words, suddenly relieved a lot. Yes, Yishan can't even destroy the heavenly Jade Star territory, so it is even more impossible for the creatures of Yishan to destroy the heavenly Jade Star territory. Shen Yuanxin said, the current universe is not the ones you encountered before. In the past, the power of life can be powerful enough to destroy those small universes. Most of the small universes were wiped out, and eventually they were swallowed up to form giant powerful universes. The living beings are too weak to fight against the huge celestial bodies. In other words, even if Xuanzu came, he couldn't help Tianquan Star territory. After understanding this layer, Chen Shang was completely relieved. The proud universe will not be destroyed by Yishan. If Yishan wants to devour the world-defying universe, it must first have a giant star field that is powerful enough to defeat the Tianquan star field, or Yishan needs to condense the power of the entire Yishan to attack the world-defying universe. However, if Yishan can gather strength, there will definitely be a star field that is as powerful as Tianquan star field, but Yishan does not have this level of star field. You must know that the current Tianquan star territory has gathered most of the world-defying universe around, so the Tianquan star territory is more powerful, which is equivalent to condensing most of the power of the world-defining universe. Although Yishan is big, it has no cohesion. Chen Shang immediately told Tianquan Yuling about this. Yishan really doesn't have a strong enough star field. Tianquan Yuling also agreed with Shen Yuanxin's statement. It's also strange, Yishan has existed for so many years, and there are 3 powerful ancestors, but they can't create a powerful star field. Madian Yao said, it's still my brother Shen. Sharp. The stars of the heavenly Jade Star territory were created by Chen Zhang's forging a powerful world-affectionate Tao seed and formed the world-proud ancestral origin, which gave birth to the heavenly Jade Star territory. Although Chen Shang didn't directly control this heavenly Jade Star territory, but reaching an agreement with the heavenly Jade Star territory, it can be said that they both recognize and respect each other very much. Because after they have created a powerful star field, they will definitely not be able to control it. Guo Lingshe looked at Chen Shang and asked, Mr. Shen, how did you control the Tianquan star field? My master once said that Yishan needs one super huge star field to add cohesion to Yishan. But she also said that no one can control the star field of that level, it will be very dangerous. I have never controlled Tianquan star territory. Chen Shang waved his hand and said with a smile, world-defying universe is not my Chen Zhang's universe, it is also the universe of Tianquan star territory, the rise and fall of world-defying universe, Tianquan star territory is also responsible. Every star in the world-defying universe has the responsibility to protect the world-defining universe, isn't it? Guo Lingshe thought about it carefully, and immediately understood how Chen Shang controlled the Tianquan star region. In her opinion, the method of Chen Zhang's control was obtained by not controlling. In the eyes of the Yishan third ancestor, if they created a super huge star field, they must be completely controlled by themselves, and they must operate according to their will. Logically speaking, it is also correct. After all, it has been created through hard work, and of course it must be controlled in your hands to be assured. However, they are all very clear that after that kind of behemoth is born, it will not take long for it to quickly grow to be very powerful, and in the end, it will be completely uncontrollable. Therefore, for many years in Yishan, there has not been a behemoth similar to Tianquan star field. The third ancestors of Yishan even suppressed the growth of those star fields because they were worried that Yishan would naturally give birth to such a behemoth, lest there would be something they could not control. Chen Shang never thought of controlling the world-defying universe in the past, nor did he completely think about controlling the heavenly Jade Star region. He didn't deliberately create the world-defying universe in the heavenly Jade Star territory, but they did it unintentionally. Tianquan Yuling always called Chen Shang the creator, and respected Chen Zhang's opinions. On the other hand, Shen Yuanxin regarded Chen Shang as his father, and Chen Shang, as a father, certainly would not think about controlling his daughter completely, but only thinking about how to protect his daughter. No control is the best control. After Guo Lingshe thought about it, she couldn't help but marvel in her heart. My relationship with the Creator is equal, Tianquan Yuling said. Although the Creator created the world-defying universe, he knew that he could not completely control the world-defying universe, but he still created the law to make the world-defying universe stronger. He knows that Tianshuan star territory is not under his control, but he still helps Tianshuan star territory create the mother source. Therefore, we will not disappoint the creator. Hearing Tianshuan Yuling's words, Guo Lingshe knew very well that even his own master could not reach the level of Chen Shang. Don't talk about it, Chen Shang said. Several other universes crashed in, and a large number of stars floated outside. We should make those stars ours. This is easy, Tianshuan Yuling said. When I fully integrate the mother source, I will be able to gather more stars nearby. It's here again, Guo Lingshe suddenly said in a deep voice, it's Master's Yaoshan magic. I feel she's getting a lot closer. It's a powerhouse in the sky, and I feel it too. Tianshuan Yuling said, it is very likely that Miss Guo's master Yaozu is indeed very strong. Where is she? Chen Shang asked, would you like to go meet her? Out there, Tianshuan Yuling said, I have locked her position. Ling Shui, are we going to see your master? Chen Shang asked, I'll go with you. I'm worried that master will be hostile to you. Guo Lingshe hesitated whether to bring Chen Shang to see Yaozu. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4919, Super Defense. If it were in another day, Chen Shang would definitely have some concerns about going to see such a big guy. But in the world-defying universe, even Yaozu would not be so powerful. Chen Shang now has a certain understanding of the mother source, and knows that the source of the powerful power of the three ancestors is all based on the mother source. If the three ancestors were separated from the mother source and far away from other heavens, then their power must be limited only to the body and soul. Chen Shang is in the world-defining universe, and he has 6 divine mirrors and various divine weapons and artifacts. When necessary, he can hide in the heavenly Jade Star territory, so he is not afraid of Yaozu at all in the world-defining universe. There's nothing to be afraid of. Chen Shang waved his hand and said with a smile, Ling Shui, I know that your master is very strong, but this is the world-defying universe anyway. I'll just hide. Senior sister, do you think master is willing to accept me? What Meidian Yao is worried about is this problem. She really hopes to stay by Yaozu's side and get Yaozu's care, so that she can be together happily. However, when she saw Guo Lingshui's nervousness now, she was worried that Yaozu would have a bad temper and refused to admit that she was a disciple of Yathianmen. Don't be afraid, if she doesn't want you, I want it. Chen Shang giggled. Sister Mei, you are such a beautiful beauty, there will always be a place for you. Little villain, go away. Meidian Yao gave Chen Shang a white look. By the way, I gave you some power storage beads before, did you use the divine art to condense the divine energy into it? Chen Shang asked. It's full, here it is. Meidian Yao took out the beads and handed them to Chen Shang. Guo Lingshe also took out several to Chen Shang. Chen Shang collected these divine power orbs, hoping to use their divine power to refine the divine art and Tao seeds. If it goes well, he will be able to master the Demon Heart Heavenly Soul Art and Yaoshan Divine Art without anyone's guidance. Master Shen, I'm going to see Master. Guo Lingshe hesitated for a while, and finally made a decision. Okay, I'll go with you. Chen Shang nodded. Junior sister, when you see Master, leave everything to me to explain. Guo Lingshe said, with Master's ability, she will definitely be able to see that you are practicing Yaoshan Divine Art. Got it, Meidian Yao nodded. Chen Shang released the divine mirror of 6 paths, and then everyone stood on the divine mirror of 6 paths, and then let the heavenly jade domain spirit send them out of the heavenly jade star domain. The current Tianshuan star territory is very large. After a large number of star territories in the Aoshi universe have gathered, they will form a system with the Tianshuan star territory, so the place where those star territories are located can also be regarded as the scope of the Tianshuan star territory. If you fly directly, I am afraid that it will be difficult to fly out of the Tianshuan star territory for tens of thousands of years. Yaozu's own strength is very strong, but she can't penetrate the outer wall of the space of the Tianshuan star territory. She is still trying now, and Longzhu also helps from time to time, but it has no effect. When we were in Yishan, we were all overlords. Now that we have come to this world-defying universe, we have become so abject. Longzhu laughed at himself. What we are facing now is not a human being of the universe, but a super-huge celestial body. Yaozu said, I thought that the scope of the big star field was only the middle star field, but I didn't expect so many. The star field actually forms a whole. Yeah, this world-defying universe seems to have a certain power that we can't know. It's amazing to gather these star fields together and connect them into a whole. Long Zhu sighed. If we were in another heaven, we would with this kind of power, it won't become like this. Old dragon, let's join forces and use all our strength to open a gap. We must enter it in order to understand the universe more thoroughly. Yao Zhu said. Okay, Long Zhu also agreed. Afterwards, the two of them joined forces, and they did burst out with great power, but they were unable to break through the space wall of the Tianquan star territory. The outer space wall of the Tianquan star territory is already so strong, what if it enters the inner city? The power of the Tianquan star territory is no longer something that human beings can resist. Must use giant celestial bodies. After Longzhu and Yaozhu went through a fierce attack, they also understood why Xuanzhu used multiple different universes to hit the world-defining universe. Because if you don't do this, you won't be able to shake the world-defying universe at all. Hey, we are so weak. Yaozhu consumed a lot of energy, and she looked like she was sluggish at the moment, and she knew that she had really tried her best just now. Although Longzhu looks like an old man, his spirit looks very good, and his power just now is stronger than Yaozhu. So Yaozhu's previous judgment is correct. Longzhu is very powerful, stronger than her. There's no other way, we can only find another way. Longzhu said, or wait for Xuanzhu to take action. If Xuanzhu wants to control the world-defining universe, or to get some benefits from the world-defining universe, he must attack on the spot. Enter the star field group. If you wait for Xuanzhu to attack, then everything will be over. Yaozhu said, we can't let Yaozhu destroy this world-defying universe. Such a magical universe, and it is still in the growth stage, it can become our new habitat in the future. Place. Without the mother source, they can't stay in another world. Without the mother source, their power is limited. If you want to break through the power limit, you can only stay in the world-defying universe. Yaozhu, I met your female apprentice before. Longzhu suddenly said, it was my avatar who saw her. She came back to Yishan from the world-defying universe. Really? No wonder I couldn't find her in Yishan. Yaozhu said in surprise, could it be that she is now in the world-defying universe? Don't you know, Xuanzhu instructed your male apprentice to seal her up for many years. After she came out, she couldn't find you, but she was in a panic. Longzhu said, she should be in the world-defying universe now, I listen. She said that someone in Aoshi universe smashed Xuanzhu's dark ancestors. What, Xuanzhu's dark ancestors will be killed? Yaozhu just thought it was unbelievable. I didn't believe it at first, but then I did find out that Xuanzhu lacked a dark ancestor. Longzhu said. Xuanzhu wanted to use the dark ancestor to erode the universe of the world, but it didn't succeed. It was obviously caused by the universe of the world. The guardians block it. The guardian of the world-defying universe is really amazing. No wonder Xuanzhu was in a rage, he had to sacrifice so many different universes, and he also had to break through the world-defining universe. Yaozhu said. Do you have any way to contact your female apprentice? Longzhu asked. Maybe she knows how to enter the Starfield group. Just as Longzhu finished speaking, not far from them, there was suddenly a faint spatial fluctuation. Longzhu and Yaozhu immediately raised their vigilance. In the blink of an eye, the Six Paths Divine Mirror suddenly appeared, with 3 people standing on it, Chen Shang, Guoling She, and Meidian Yao. After seeing Yaozhu, Guoling She was very excited, but she had to suppress her excitement, and said politely and respectfully, my disciple pays respect to master. World-Defying Dan God Chapter 4920, Dream Enemy. Both Yaozhu and Longzhu were very surprised. They were talking about Guoling She just now, but she suddenly appeared. Ling Shui, you. After Yaozhu finished speaking, he looked at Chen Shang, and his expression changed. Chen Shang was looking at Yaozhu just now, because there is nothing bad about this woman. He really didn't expect that Yaozhu was such a beautiful woman, so unreal. What's more, after seeing Yaozhu, the evil desire in his heart was inflated wildly. He didn't know why this happened. Yaozhu didn't use any charm, but after seeing Yaozhu, he wanted to push her down immediately. Just when Chen Shang resisted the evil desire in his heart, he suddenly felt Yaozhu's cold murderous aura coming. Yaozhu was murderous at the moment, her eyes were full of resentment. When she looked at Chen Shang, it was like seeing the enemy of her life, full of blood and deep hatred. That monstrous resentment, even Longzhu was shocked. Longzhu has known Yaozhu for many years, but he has never seen Yaozhu look like this. Long Zhu also looked at Chen Shang, but he couldn't see anything. Master, this is my friend, his name is Chen Shang. Guo Lingshe also realized that something was wrong, and she didn't know why. What she worried about before was that Yaozu had prejudice against Chen Shang, but she didn't expect that Yaozu now seems to have seen the enemy who killed his father. Charming Tianyao was also scared by Yaozu's murderous intention to tremble. Chen Zhang's heart is also full of fear at the moment, but the most terrible thing is that Yaozu's unreal dream-like beauty has always filled him with infatuation. Even if Yaozu is so scary at this moment, he still feels that Yaozu has a different kind of beauty at this moment, and it is more attractive to her. After he was sealed for 100,000 years and came out, he has also met many beauties in the world-defining universe, but no one has ever made him so tempted. After all, he has experienced a lot and has many beauties. However, after seeing Yaozu, Chen Shang wanted to take her as his own right away. Ling Shui, how did you know this person? Yaozu's eyes gradually turned dark red, looking very scary. Master, he is my benefactor. I was sealed for many years, and he rescued me. Guo Lingshe was also frightened and her voice trembled. Guo Lingshe is usually the kind of cold and arrogant strong woman, but now she looks like a little rabbit who has been frightened all the time. Come here, Yaozu shouted in a deep voice, and saw a force control Guo Lingshe to fly behind her. Come here too. Yaozu looked at Madian Yao and sucked her in too. Everyone present was stunned, they really wanted to know why Yaozu hated Chen Shang so much. Boy Chen Shang, you have no grievances or enmity with Yaozu, why does Yaozu have such murderous intentions towards this boy? Chen Shang suppressed all kinds of desires in his heart and asked calmly. Slutty, shut up, I'm going to seal you up. Yaozu shouted angrily and flew over immediately. Yaozu went over and slapped Chen Shang with a palm, and he didn't use all his strength. After all, she was already very tired now. Before, in order to break into the heavenly Jade Star territory, her consumption was huge. However, her palm is also very strong. Chen Shang was terrified in his heart, but fortunately, he reacted in time, and quickly controlled the Six Paths Divine Mirror to stand in front of him, blocking Yaozu's palm. Master, he is my friend. Guo Lingshe is also very anxious. Chen Shang is very strong in alchemy, but his cultivation is too low, so his strength is very weak, and now he is facing Yaozu. Yaozu, he is the one who destroyed the Dark Ancestors. Long Zhu said hurriedly, if you have something to say, you can say it well. It's the first time you see him, why do you have such hostility? Yaozu slapped hundreds of slaps in a row, all of which were blocked by the Six Paths Divine Mirror. Chen Shang also knew that Yaozu was very tired now, so her attacks were all powerless and seemed to be soft. It was only because Chen Shang possessed the Divine Mirror of Six Paths that he could block it. If it were someone else, such as Emperor Guiyuan, he would have already turned into ashes. After attacking continuously for a while, Yaozu seemed to lose his anger, calm down, and stay away from Chen Shang. But when she looked at Chen Shang, her beautiful eyes were still full of resentment. Her hatred for Chen Shang was so terrifying, it made people feel that the hatred for killing her father was nothing more than that. Chen Shang felt a grievance in his heart, it was the first time he saw Yaozu, how could he be hated so much by her? Yaozu, is there any misunderstanding? Have you seen this person before? Long Zhu asked. Long Zhu knew that Chen Shang was not simple. A person with a low cultivation base was able to kill the Dark Ancestor, and relying on a divine weapon, he forcibly blocked Yaozu's incomparably angry attacks. In the world of Defying universe, it was considered very powerful. I haven't seen it, Yaozu said coldly, but I have to seal him. I have no reason to kill him, I can only seal him. Chen Shang was even more stunned. Why, did I offend you? Chen Shang asked with a frown. No, but you will offend me in the future. Yaozu said coldly, to tell the truth, I have dreamed of you many times. Because of the exercises I practice, my soul can spy into the future. Chen Shang is very speechless, is this the reason? He only found it very difficult to understand, but he also believed that Yaozu had dreamed of him. After all, they had never met, and when Yaozu saw him, he immediately recognized him, indicating that he had indeed seen him in a dream. Madian Yao and Guo Lingshe are also confused, is this some strange reason? I haven't seen it before, but just by dreaming about it, should I think that Chen Shang is an enemy? Long Zhu was also speechless and didn't know what to say. I really dreamed of him. Yaozu also knew that it was very absurd, but she was very sure that her dream was very real, which was equivalent to happening in the future. There may be some strange phenomenon that we can't understand, which is why this misunderstanding occurs. Maybe your dream has a big deviation. Chen Shang explained forcibly. Charming heavenly demon, right? Yao Zhu looked at the charming heavenly demon beside Guo Lingshe. Mei Tian Yao did not dare to speak, so he could only nod his head again and again, because the current Yao Zhu is so terrifying, the aura is so strong that it makes people a little unsteady. In my dream, you were accepted by Ling Shui, so you are my apprentice. Yao Zhu said. Hearing her words, both Guo Lingshe and Mei Tian Yao were speechless with their mouths open. Chen Shang was also shocked, because it was indeed the case. When Guo Lingshe accepted the charming heaven monster as his disciple, he was there. Master. Guo Lingshe wanted to say something, but she didn't know what to say. I agree that Mei Tian Yao is my apprentice. Yao Zhu said, we'll talk about this later. She looked at Chen Shang and said again, I want to seal you, this is the best result for us. No, if your dream is real, even if you seal me, what should happen will definitely happen. Chen Shang said, so you seal me to no avail. I always think that there must be some deviation or misunderstanding.